slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway. Isn't that strange? Cause I'm trying through the climb, I ain't right pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, is belief. They'll see with the negativity, but I just gotta right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 you got a mind, but even that could change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn it to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past, start a pain, and you find a door. Open it up, and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 still go, 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 slow, still go, go, no hope, still go. I never answer to no, I still go.
Case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph, and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Now there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
What's happening, people? Miss Joanne, what's happening? I see you up in here. Haven't seen you in a while. What's happening, mama? All right, guys, we're going to review something tonight. I got a special guest. I got Connie from Cash, Gernon Family Justice. Everybody must subscribe to that channel. I'll say something about her really fast before I do this opening. She's going to come on here and give everybody an update. Okay. All right. That sucks. All right. Anyway, that fucked me up a little bit. That's okay. So look, yesterday when I get done telling people about the situation with the cop, you guys really made the situation better. I've read all your comments. I guess a lot of you guys have done that as well in the comments with the door handle thing. So I never knew. I thought I was like, I had a moment, but evidently a lot of you guys have done that. So that made it feel better. I hope you've seen the post where I showed when he let me out of the car and took the handcuffs off, he had my fucking wallet and my can of dip. And he after they searched me in this bag, like they were all ready to like really take me in. So he's like, here, you want the bag? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want the bag. I'm keeping that. I'm putting it on YouTube. And you're going too. He's like, he didn't know nothing about that. But that's that. Okay, look, I'm gonna drop the link here in a second for a special guest. I want everybody to subscribe to my guest. And before I do that, Connie, give me a second. Let me do something that I have to. I don't know why this is not done. Let me mod you. So I'm gonna mod. Before I do that, Connie, give me a second. Let me find you. There's also some more people I want to mod in this chat. Here's the deal. Oh wait, Connie, you are a mod? It doesn't have her. Is she mod a bit? No, I don't see a mod by her name.
If she's a member, it won't show.
Remove as standard moderator. She's a mod. Okay, that's what I thought. There's a lot of people in this chat that I want to give wrenches to. Hello, Candace. I'd like to give one to maybe Shelby. I'd like to give one to Captain and a few others. I'm not gonna keep naming them. What's up, Josh? What's up, Angie? Christina Logan, what's happening? Grunge Truck, the lovely wifey, said Miss Joanne. But I gotta take some wrenches to give some wrenches. The moderator thing is all confusing with YouTube. There's a lot of feelings involved in it. Here's the thing, people. Here's the thing. You don't have to spend money to be a mod over here. You have to just support the channel, right? It's very simple. I give it a lot of wrenches out. But if I don't see people in the chats, I pay my moderators good money, like good money. Okay, I pay you guys very good. If I don't see you ever in the chat, then come on. What are you a mod for? And it's not even like you have to be active in every live, but like at least I like to see the people who have wrenches like comment on the videos and the lives. I'm not asking you to dedicate all your time to me because nobody pays you guys nothing. But it's like a loyalty thing in my view. So I am going to snag some wrenches. Don't get all excited about it. Don't get all, going crazy. Most people will keep their wrenches, but there are a few people I don't see you ever. So why do you have a wrench when there's somebody actively supporting me all the time and they can have it? We're not making this difficult, people. We're not making this difficult. So that's done. That's done. It's going to happen. Okay, it's going to happen. Now, I'm going to drop the link for Connie. Before I drop the link for Connie, we try to help people on the channel. Obviously, you guys know Don and Candace. We always will help them. I've helped quite some families over here, okay? Some people haven't been subscribed to the channel for a long time. They don't know that, but we've helped a lot of families, okay? I think Don and Candace are more known, but, even people who have gone through traumatic stuff, a lot of people, maybe my OGs know, Daryl Brooks, that nutcase in Waukesha, who ran over people in the Christmas parade, got real tight with his ex-girlfriend that you saw all over. We interviewed her. I've been helping her behind the scenes with her Instagram, with YouTube. We've helped her. We've been supportive. Just a lot of things, people, a lot of things. But maybe people know this, maybe they don't, right? Sometimes it's just what you do, right? Connie is very interesting because it's not just me that got this phone call one day. One day out of the blue, I got a phone call. And she talked about this last time she got on the platform. And it wasn't just me. Savage has got this phone call. A lot of people have gotten this phone call. And it's thank you for what you're doing. Because if you let Bullhorn Betty tell it or these other channels tell it, they'll say, oh, cockroach channels and hater channels and this and that. Well, that shit sounds good. It sounds good. But at the end of the day, families who have been indirectly attacked by these scumbags actually reach out and say, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you. And that's where Connie comes and gets involved in this. So I don't understand. It bothers me. And I'm not speaking for her right now. It bothers me why all the Cash Gernon channels do not have plus 1,000 subscribers. It literally bothers me. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. So Connie, please keep dropping your link. I'm asking you to please continually drop your link. Mods, grab the link, and I want it dropped throughout the whole live. Every channel needs to have over 1,000 subscribers.
For Connie?
Yes, please.
On it.
All right, Connie, I'm going to drop the link and let you just take it. Now, she's going to kind of correct something that I posted and give you guys an update on what's happening. Again, Connie, they do real advocate work, people. Okay, and I let her tell it instead of me. All right, I just dropped it, Mama. I just dropped it. So if you guys don't know who I'm talking to, or you're watching this on the replay, who I'm talking about right now, who's about to come up right now, is right here. I'll put it on the screen. This is the channel you can type in on YouTube, and you can let's get these channels over 1,000 people. Let's go.
Hey, Whisper Babies. Y'all, they tried to
No, Shelby.
take my husband again last night.
They
It
tried.
was insane.
They tried. Shelby, I'd like to give you one because you're very active, supportive. You know, I was going to say something about you, Troll Investigates, and a bunch of other people who maybe are a little bit newer to the channel, but you guys also have channels yourself, and you guys do a lot of work as well, you know, and that needs to be broadcasted. And I'm gonna touch on that at the end. But I appreciate, Shelby, your support, comments. You know, even if it's laughing at Bullhorn Betty or Tik Tok Tony, I still appreciate it. And my mods, most of my mods have my back, people. This is not taking a shot at my mods at all. But there's a couple people. There's probably like 3 to 5 people that I don't ever see these people ever. So it's just like, why? And I have some mods that are in the hospital, some mods that have some stuff going on. I'm not talking about any of you guys at all. Some are in nursing homes. None of that. Does not apply to any of you guys. I know most of my mods, when they can, they will be here. But there's a couple people who used to be supportive. And in my view, what I think happened is when I started like helping the Wells, they were all butthurt because maybe they don't like the Wells. And that's fine. I got a lot of subscribers that feel that exact way. But that doesn't mean, like, if that's how you feel, man, look, man, it is what it is. I'm not telling you that you have to kiss my ass and agree with me on every little thing, but just be real. It doesn't cost anything to be real. You could literally say, I fuck with you, white boy. I love your channel, but I don't like those people. I'm okay with that. Just be real about it. I'm not going to feel some type of way. Not at all. Not at all. I actually really have respect for any sub that says that. I know Julie says that. Julie, right. Not to call you out, Julie, but I like Julie. She's from Canada. I know her very well. She's been subscribed a long time. She feels like that. Okay. That's how she feels. I'm not like blocking her. No way. All right. Did you get the link, Mama? Let me drop it again. We almost gave Julie up one time. Oh, here she comes. Okay, here she comes, y'all. We're going to start off with her giving an update. What's up, Mom? One time. Oh, here she comes.
Hey, Matt.
Okay, here she comes, y'all. We're going to start off with her giving an update. What's up, Mom?
Okay, this is not Connie. This is Sean.
Okay, here she comes, y'all. What did I say, Connie? Oh, I'm so sorry. What why did you crap me, baby? Hold on, turn your YouTube off.
I did, Matt.
I'm sorry. I totally screwed that up. Say it again because it was echoing.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Repeat what you just said.
I said, this is not Connie. This is Shar. I represent the organization.
Yes.
I'm the president of the organization. Just
Yes.
so you know that. So you kept saying Connie, but listen, it is Connie's voice.
No, Shar, that's a very important point, and that was a bonehead mistake I just did. But guys, look, Connie was the family. Shar speaks for them, correct?
We are advocates, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
That's
bad, guys.
what's important about this. Because basically you are too. Being a voice out here, for the families on the internet is what's happening right now. These are really considered internet advocates for these families that you're trying to help, by providing the shield, the protection, and the information to these families. We've been doing this for a while now. We had taken it a step further into where we had decided that we wanted to go into Washington, D.C. with the advocacy group of Family Forward Project. So we did. So Family Forward Project, along with us, Cash Gernon Justice Family, is a grassroots organizations that are working together, including the internet. We were just there on May 20th. And then Connie was the other Connie Regularly, who is running Family Forward Project, had just went back last week. So meanwhile, what we do have is a series of bills that are being passed on the House floor that are being moved on to the Senate, right? So
Yes.
So one of them is the advocacy bill, which is the HR 8866.
Is that the one I posted the other day, Shar?
That's the advocacy bill. But then we also have what just passed, Matt, was on the House floor now. It's moving on to the Senate, is the HR 9076. Okay. And that is to authorize child welfare programs under Part B of Title IV of the Social Security Act and strengthen the state and tribal child support enforcement program under Part D of such title and for other purposes. We always have to remember those words, other purposes. Okay, guys? That's what I try to point out on the other bill, the HR 8866, the other purposes. Okay, because there's more voices in this and more people active in this than for just the purpose that it's written for. We're trying to combine everything. There's actually 16 bills that are going on for the reform for the children and the families. So that's why I wanted to point out to you what here's our start. This is the first one that went through, made it through the House. We have ours that's going to be going through the House, and we know a lot of changes are going to be made in the next couple of months. Anybody that's paying attention once there's a change of guard here as we're going along, and that is for the families. We have X now just turned is going to have XTube, so you guys be aware of that. XTube coming up.
I've been hearing about that. What is that exactly? Because I've heard about it, but Elon's trying to compete with YouTube, correct?
Well, it's basically going to be the same thing that it is out here. And I brought this to you guys before to let you know. Of course, he's going to compete. It's Elon. Come on now.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I think the access to XTube is going to be 10 times or 1,000 times bigger than YouTube. So if you're as soon as they're ready to open it up, make sure you guys get in. That way you're there from the start and you learn it as it goes.
You have to apply for that?
I believe if you have an X account or whatever, it should be on there somewhere. They're going to send emails out. I'm not sure yet. Cool. But we had went in on a couple of the round tables and sat in and listened. You could do that too. And I was telling you about this, Matt. I'm a queefer. Hey, baby girl. Hi. So anyway, yes. So now what we're doing is where we are at in this. Connie Reguly, who is the head of Family Forward Project, is also a disbarred lawyer from Tennessee because she had stuck up for the families. So now she had taken it on as grassroots, as just being a citizen and changing all the laws. So that's who we're all working together with behind the scenes to see, what can we get done? How can we get it done? And who can be out here to support it? So what we do need is for that HR 8866 is for the people in quotes, to get on the phone or write into your senators and let them know, or we're coming with it. We're pretty sure we already have the House vote and it will pass. Because like I said, there's 16 for revisions. And that is that there is a reform of CPS, which is long called for.
Do you know how the Senate vote went? Like, I could see this as like absolutely a divisive topic. So I'm sure they kind of
Well, the House bill, Matt, that just passed right now. Absolutely. I think I even gave you the House call vote to give you the numbers, the exact numbers, but both were for it. So Sweet. It went over very well. I do have it, the House call vote, because we were watching it. I do have it. Hold on. So we have 2/3 yay and nay. And that was on the September 18th. We have a 405 vote on yes, 10 nays, no voting of 15. And that's on the roll call of the 423 bill number HR 9076. So Gotcha. That is with the 118th Congress second session. But with this is all happening is now, if you'll see how you'll see Paris Hilton was out here, right? So Paris was out advocating to say we need a change in this system.
I saw that. Okay. I saw Paris.
We need changes. And so when we're all saying we need changes for everything, all of it out here. We're not saying that it's not needed. What we're saying is that it needs to be done appropriately for families so that families can stay together. That's our viewpoint. And not only that, but that advocates can be set in place for all aspects of families. That includes the internet. Okay, so like we're doing right now, We have been out here, for almost 3 years now. And yes, we have been monitoring. We have been tracking, tracing, watching everything that's going on. We have sat with you guys, our content creators that we love out here. We do love you guys. God, you guys are doing great. We can't even say enough about you guys. If it weren't for you good people that are doing this, and the subs that are seeing this would not be happening. If it wasn't for everybody sticking together behind the scenes, knowing what's going on, tag teaming, exchanging what they have, helping each other along the way, tagging each other along the way, this has become a collective of voices, even with the content creators themselves, which is absolutely awesome. You joined your own unity out here to show and expose the tragedy pimps. We went one step further. We actually went into DC, and I have that videoed, and we exposed the tragedy pimps of the internet for the families. So we have been behind you, and we made sure we were the boots on the ground to get our voice in there to back all of you up like we promised we would do. So our part now is to work through the bills that are happening. And we are doing that with the Family Follower Project. Connie regularly has that on Facebook. Anybody can go check that out. And then from there, we're working out here with everyone. So right now, that was also what you were saying about dog coming in. Is this good or bad? Listen, dog coming in is bringing the attention for Sebastian. Yes, it's good. Okay. The people dogging dog is not good. Okay. His reasons are his own, and he lost a child also. You have to remember that, guys, right? That's also how Tim from Texas, help me out here, Texas Search had gotten into this, was because he lost a daughter. So everybody's out here that's fighting that has lost children themselves are here for a reason. Okay. And that's also to expose all the other ones that are going at this. So hopefully, you all can pay attention to what's happening around this, pay attention to who's saying what, and make up your own choice or your own choices of how you feel about it. We're here to tell you that missing a child or a child that they find that is deceased is a family grieving either way. Loss is loss.
Yeah.
And so therefore the state of mind that the families are in is not good. You're judging families that are not in their right minds out here. They're not going to make decisions that are correct. They don't even know what correct is at this point. And that's where advocates would come in to help them out to be that voice, to make sure that EquiSearch, right, Josh? Thanks for that, bud. And they were at Cash's Angelversary too. EquiSearch had come in with the FBI for Cash's Angelversary. We have them. Tim sent in a crew for us. So yes, we are a voice. We do speak with these people that are, let me say, quote, legitimate searchers for a reason. We speak with the police departments. We speak with everybody that's around it. We don't want information from them on anybody's cases. What we want is that, what can we do? How can we help you? What can we say to help you? Right? That's how it should be. Not to poke and pry and try to act like you're a detective of 30 years out here, or you're somebody. Okay. Let me tell you what you are out here. You are a content creator only by YouTube. If you claim to be something else, you better have a license, a certificate, went to school, and know more than what these police officers and FBI know. Okay?
Hold on, Char. Candace, she's been trying to help you guys. I've told Don, I don't know if the message got directly to you or not. This is someone who's they're going through like literally legislation. So you guys need to talk. Okay, maybe what I said to Don didn't get to you, or maybe he didn't understand. I know you guys have been burnt by people on the internet. There's not one that's going to do that. I'll touch with you after this, get with Noel, but this is something. And just so people know real fast, let me ask you this, Shar. I know there's going to be some people who don't know who Cash Gernon is because maybe they floated in from Facebook on Sebastian Rogers and now they're in TrueCrime or one of these other cases that happened after Cash. But without pointing the finger at which one did what, I mean, you're free to say whatever you want. But as far as tragedy pimps and that in Cash's case, can you speak on maybe a really brief, like how that impacted the family?
Well,
For people who don't know,
I'll give you a quick scenario. All right.
Okay.
So in the beginning of this, the good side of the family kept their mouths shut because they were told to, right, by the police department. Because when the police department tells you information, you can't go out here blurting it. Okay. You can ruin the investigation. All right. You can ruin everything in the end of what you're looking for, the justice, right? So Connie was told to be quiet, and she was. Okay. Then what happened was the UK Daily brought out the video, right, that was released, which was incorrect because the person that released that video had no rights to release it. She was not anything to these children to release a video. Okay, she has gotten charges of neglect and abuse. She has the charges; they were founded. So was the father was founded. Meanwhile, everybody ran with the UK Daily, right? So while Connie has set up a legit funeral fund, the other people were setting up a funeral fund. So there ended up a feud on that, right? So Daily Beast had to square that away. So that's when Connie's other daughter, who lives in the UK, stepped in. Notice the connection here on UK because she was in the UK. She stepped in and she handled that part for it to straighten it out. Wait a minute. My mother is here taking care of this, not you people. We don't even know who you people are, you know. So Cash was handed over to Connie, okay, and Cash's mother. That's who Cash was handed to, not to those people out there that had that other GoFundMe. So that's where it had all started. So the police department was contacted. We got in touch with the Dallas police, and from there it had boiled over. Then a dispute had happened out here because now nobody knew who to believe or what to believe, and everybody spun their own stories. Meanwhile, there was a community meeting that was broadcasted that nobody paid attention to, obviously, that said CPS had dropped the ball. CPS was called in January because there was a missed visit, and CPS did not carry through, and they knew exactly where Cash and Carter were at the time. So therefore, we have a missed CPS case. They had a case number and everything. They were supposed to carry it through with the HB 2053, which is Colton's law, and they didn't do it. Colton's law is a no justice jurisdiction, which means if one county has to cross over to the other county, they don't need permission. They just go do it. And that was because little Colton was missing in 2015, 2016, the bill went through. And that's HB 2053, Texas Colton's justice law. Now, this is how I had gotten into play because back then in 2015, I had helped with Colton's justice law. And that's how I knew of what was wrong here, how it went wrong. Okay. Texas missed the mark. And then when you listen to the community, they all missed the mark and they admitted it. So from there, what happened was the content creators decided to make up their own scenarios because they wanted to keep the story running, already knowing what happened and what was going down. Brown was already arrested. Everything was already done. And they continued on to collect money. And then they started attacking the family, death threats, couldn't even have a birthday party for Cash without death threats. We had to put the police department in there. I mean, it was really bad. And there's other ones, you know, that can verify this for us that we were like, hey, listen, and we just have to make this where they are surrounded. And whoever just did that, Queef, you're correct. So, so we had to protect at that time everybody on anything that was being done. We have a bench that was done for Cash. We have a monarch butterfly sanctuary. There's a rock garden. We built Cash's garden. I mean, there was a lot of things we have done that we have been attacked for just simply doing the right thing. So then that's when the organization came into play, because now that there's an organization, she organized it, which makes it that we are a voice. Now, when we made that decision, we are a voice for everyone, not just for Cash. So with our board, and what we had done at that time was joined with forces with the Family Forward Project on advocacy in all aspects. Okay, so that includes the internet. So I am the internet advocate, but I am also part of the organization so that we can make sure, and the YouTube or whatever media possible, to make sure that our connections are done properly and with people that we know are doing the right thing. And that's why I said, you guys, I cannot say enough. I've met some of the best people out here, Matt, along the way, that this family could move on and do well and thrive. We've all, we lifted them up. They were thrown in the gutter. We lifted them up. And at this point, we want to do that for many others. We don't want this to happen to other families. And that was the mission. And that's the goals that we're setting here.
You guys,
that's why we are standing.
You guys are doing great work. Now, I know this from helping a woman out of Florida that had a problem with Florida. It's called the Florida Free Kill Act. I had her on. It's a whole stream that I did. If you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link it in the description. But through her, she fought the hospitals here in Florida. I learned how a bill gets passed. And just so people understand, we're dealing with stuff that's happened to this family. They've actually they're getting real things done, and it's passed the House and into the Senate. So before it even goes there, to create a bill, to my understanding, you have to have a Democrat, and people think in 2024, the right and the left are completely split, they're completely divided. But you have to have a Democrat and a Republican come and together form a bill. But you need one of each party, right? And then from there, they can form a bill. And then the bill gets introduced, but not passed. And it has to go through then the Congress and then the Senate. They are to the point where all this stuff happened it happened in real life. People exploited it, and all the shit happened on YouTube. They're fighting. She's told the Wells on here a couple of times, take your rights back. They're still fighting. So this happened in real life. People covering it, exploiting the situation on YouTube. They still fighting. You got one of each to introduce the bill. It's been passed in Congress, and now we're to the Senate. And I think something like this will get passed. It's not divisive. Something they would argue about. It's kids, so we got to keep it. We got to keep our prayers up.
Here's where we're at, Matt. There's other grassroots organizations. This all has to be done by the people now. Let's remind you of that. All has to be done by the people, right, at this point in time. But we are just part of it, right? So there's other groups and organizations that have stood with us, and we stand with them through grassroots. And also that it's a people's voice. You guys here, everybody getting the word out. We need the people to actually contact your senators, your legislators, your representatives, and let them know we support the bills that you're going to reform for the children, period. Like I said, there's not just one, there's 16 in there right
now. Okay.
So along the way, Family Forward Project, I'm going to say that I've been out here for 20 years advocating without a bill, 20 years. So along the way with Family Forward Project, which I've been, a part of, and also with my own advocacy things that I've done, we had finally made it to where we're at now. But that's 20 years in the works. You also have other groups that had pushed this, which was which I came out and even said this, pay attention to these big cases, right? Alex Jones. So it was the Sandy Hook case. Those parents had pushed. Okay, so they push it through. Then also it was the one with the helicopter. They took the pictures of her daughter, and she said, "I don't want them online." The basketball player, Matt, and they put the pictures out online anyway. She went in and sued and said this shouldn't happen. So you'll see that there's reference cases that are higher up that we can now skirt off of, right? So that's basically how this is going for the internet. And then you had Elon come out and say, "I lost a child." Nobody will come out here and speak badly about children or their families.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Elon stepped in. That's where we're at, right?
Yep.
So when you had, it wasn't just us little guy. We're just a voice, as I say. Iron Man, our little Iron Man is there. My little Batman is there. Now I have a little Wonder baby that's there. Our little voices are in with a big voice is basically what's happening now. And I thank God for that. Because we worked really hard for 3 years out here just with this case to help push through and for people to see what is going on with all of you. with all these content creators out here, and they've done an excellent job trying to get this through. I can't, like I said, you guys, you subs, I understand lurkers and being in there, but you better pick and choose who you're supporting. Because even if you're in there, right? Even if you're in there supporting, you're still supporting that channel by getting paid. You might just be, a looky loo, or we would just, but you're still supporting them. That we are non-monetized. We have never been monetized, never will be monetized. Okay. We did have a bigger channel, Matt. It was taken. But we let them have it. Hold on. We let them have it. A lawyer has it. And it's there because it is getting everything that's on it that we have done is there to use as evidence on backing up what we said. That's why we're out here now. We're not out here to be big. Okay. We're out here for a different purpose. That just keep our front. No, we're still here to relay the information to all you guys. Okay. That's where we're at.
So I didn't know that. But I'm going to guess here. Did people false strike it?
Yeah, but it's okay. Like we said, it's okay. Wow. It's okay. We rebuilt 3 times. We rebuilt 3 times. Okay, it's okay. Crazy. So that's what we're saying. This, with the way that it was going, the evidence that they have now. Thank you, because then they get to hold it for us. Okay, so it's there. It's not going anywhere. In a little vault, as they say. So things do work in strange ways. They really do.
Okay, so reaching out to your local reps will help. What is the bill? What is the number on the bill? Is it the one
that is HR 8866 is what we are working on.
HR 8866,
and that's House Res Bill HR 8866, and that's for the Family Advocacy Bill. That's what it says on there, and I'll point that out too again. It says it's for child welfare, but also at the bottom it says other purposes. The other purposes were added in. I went in. I spoke for the tragedy pimps and what's happening with tragedy pimping, and I can shoot you the short little clip because they let us bring out a little bit. They really don't want us, showing much, but I did clip it, and I it's on our channel.
I'll actually, when you jump down, I'm going to play on your channel. Which one is it? Let me look on your.
It's a short clip. It says Cash was in DC. We had brought it out for Savage because Savage was the first one when we got back that was on. So I let her play it live, but it's on our channel. But like I said, this is basically for our documenting too. So along the way, everything that we have has already been out here. We can't say we didn't show it or bring it or do anything, with it. We actually did. And these are the social media platforms that we are utilizing. We're in the combat on the same platforms that we're combating at us. And that's the truth. So that's why we're standing out here. And not only that, we will contact families, and we have to, or contact creators to let them know what's up. If we know that they were good contact creators and they're being pulled in, that's when you get the phone call, right, Matt?
Yeah. Okay. I appreciated that. Listen, when you guys do that, it really gives people, for me at least, when you did that, it gave me a little, you help motivate me. And because it's something different. It's something different, and it's just like, okay, now I'm helping. What I should have did is probably been vocal about it more, but you help motivate me make parodies. You help motivate me really try to get awareness out about what these people are doing, and I'm sure the same for people like Savage and everyone else, and people they tag all the time, creators and everything.
Well, everyone that I usually tag, and I do miss some, along the way, and I'm sorry if I do. But that is the ones that we do know and have either spoken to personally or through email or correspondence, and they know, or that we know they're doing the right thing. And they've been out here a long time with us doing exactly the same thing. And that is to expose the tragedy pimps. We try to jump in whenever we can, and we have time to sit with you guys. We have some really good people out here, and I cannot thank, and I do this all the time, the content creators enough, and there are a couple that went down for actually, that was at the 118, the 118-8866 was us, that have actually went under because of fighting, and they shouldn't have. And I'm hoping, some of them can rebuild it and come back as a stronger voice, now that things are exposed the way they are. We appreciate everybody, even the subs, all the subs, please. If you can, however you can help these guys out, they're out here from the kindness of their heart, but they also have a family to feed too. Okay, we're not out here to feed anyone's family. We're out here to feed all of you the information that we possibly can, but they're out here to feed their families. So if you can help these guys out any way you can, be a member, just hit like. Do me a favor, go out there, hit that like. And I'm not saying this, I'm saying it because you have to support the right ones, and we appreciate it. We really do. So I'm going to let you take it away, Matt, and say what you're going to say about dog. I just hope you're not dog and dog, because we do need dog out here. We need the bigger voices, no matter what it may be. Listen, let dog do dog. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I will.
He's not stupid, So, all right, guys, thank you so much, Matt. Hello, Noelle. Hugs, Noelle. She's great too. I love her. Damaged Goods, please go and hit her channel up. She has been out here supporting children everywhere. Look, we're not just here. We've done protests, we've done rallies, we've done marches, we've done you name it, YouTubes, whatever, anything for the children. These two right here have been with us along the way, and we appreciate them for that. Thank you guys again from our hearts, and I'm going to get out of here, Matt. Thanks, bud.
All right, Mama. Well, I appreciate you coming up.
No problem.
What up, Sam? What's up? Okay. Yeah. So, guys, it was cool getting the call from her, because you're helping families by I've been out just ragging on these tragedy pimps, and then you get the call, so it's cool. Now, look, my live, y'all, is about dog. I'm not going to dog them, but I do want to point some things out about some stuff that I've seen. I do want to show everything she said. I want to show you guys the channel and stuff like that. I do want to review the Coffindaffer interview with Dog. It's not that I'm dogging Dog out, but she is right when she says, and listen, guys, anything that Dog the bounty hunter does, he's going to get eyeballs on. So indirectly, him getting involved in Sebastian's case is a net positive for eyeballs. There's no disputing that. That is. From my view, I don't like people attacking the family. I don't like people doing that, okay? And Dog has brought a lot of people in, but he takes like a Bullhorn Betty stance where he's like, Seth is an angel and Chris and Katie are the devil. And there's just some things I saw, not only in this interview, another one that I want to point out. You cannot take the eyeballs away. You can't do that. And no matter if it's this case or the next 10 he maybe gets involved in, he's always going to bring eyeballs in, people. There's no debating that. It's just some things that I've seen. And look, personally, the guy Nick the Hat, no good. No good, people. He's a paid agitator, guys. He's a paid agitator. He's no good. I don't like him, JLR, none of those people. But I'm glad that Queefer said it. I had it on the screen a minute ago. Should have said Molly and Benny. Correct, Queefer? Is that what you said? Where's it at? Let me scroll through. So take me a second to find this. Why? Where you at, Queefy? It should say, I don't want to misquote you. Here it is. Yes. Says Cash's case was a mess on here thanks to Molly and backdoor Benny, all to make money for themselves. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys what happened and what they did. It's pretty disgusting what they did in that case. That's why you have to understand, when the tragedy pimps, they invited me to Tennessee to get involved in the Summer Wells case, and I didn't go, and that whole fallout with Molly and Betty and JLR and Chronicles, all that happened, and I was pushing back. It was around when I got the call, okay? I had never knew the things that Molly did in this case, and it's disgusting. I won't even repeat some of the things she did to that little boy on this live. It's hard to even say. Backdoor Benny as well. You'll have Tiffany Marie who's over there shoving carrots in her asshole and every orifice she has, sticking up for this guy. And you don't need me to tell you that this guy has done some havoc in Cash's case. You can see all the other shit that he's done. There's the trailer of my lives at least 5 to 10 times has been him and voices behind my balls saying, "Oh, I wish I wanted to stab Don Wells with my fishing knife and kill him." That's the trailer to my life. Came out of Benny's own mouth and him and voices behind my balls. But Tiffany Marie will stick up for that. The contradictions are out of control. So anyway, I do want to review this dog stuff. He is a net positive for Sebastian as far as eyeballs, but there's just some things I saw him say that I don't know. Last night I talked about it for a little bit. I said I've always liked Dog the Bounty Hunter. I think he's cool. He changed his life. I love all that. I think it's a natural instinct to question people with missing kids. People always question like monetary stuff, GoFundMe's and all these, and sometimes it could be super petty when people like want to have receipts on it and stuff like that. But I think it's kind of worth it because of all the shenanigans that happens in within the community and genre and sector. So I'm kind of with it, but it could be. I thought I was overthinking this at first because I've always liked Dog. And again, make no mistake about this live. What he's doing is a net positive. Okay, net positive. And what I'm about to say on this review from this point forward of the live is just my opinion. I don't know Dog the Bounty Hunter, but I've seen him. And I remember what he did in the Brian Laundrie case. And in my opinion, when he came out there, it was kind of like he came out there, knocked on the door, jumped in the SUV, and rode off. And that's all he did. And then he did some media interviews. So being out there and seeing what he did in real life, he didn't like search or do anything like that. But he brought a lot of eyes just talking about it, just being out there. But, I don't know if that's good or bad. What is it a good thing that he brought a lot of eyes on top of the huge news Gabby Petito's case was already getting? Or is it a bad thing that he didn't search? Am I being petty by being like, you didn't get in the woods and search? Or is it a net positive that he had a lot of people? Look, the dude's had a lot of followers, people. He's been on national TV shows. So it's a net positive. But I think that his partner's shenanigans, and I think that I'm just questioning the antics here is what I'm doing. So with that being said, let me see. People jumped in here. I don't want to miss any comments. You may have been okay. I saw you two searching. Savage, much love to Savage and all the awareness on all the tragedy pimp she does. All talk, no action, in my opinion. Everybody's free to their opinion. Wonderful, great job by. Okay, cool. Candace is in the house, y'all. Be respectful. You will get blocked. We're not gonna have no shenanigans with no family, with any missing kids. You're not gonna come over here with your digs, cut downs. You're just gonna be hidden. That's it. Mods, hide user. Don't even time out. Don't hide anybody else. But anybody's disrespectful to Shar, to Candace, and my creators in the chat should have a if you're a creator, you should at least have a wrench so nobody can come on here and give it a quick dig. You know what I'm saying? I try to do that at least. Okay, so let me show you guys this. It's just some things that I was looking at when I reviewed this. I have not seen the Betty interview yet. I heard that it was horrendous, and I heard that it was like such softball questions. I did though scan the streets. I slept in today. Last night was tough. I was in the back of a fucking police car for robbery, and I didn't even do it. You know how weird that feels? But I scanned the YouTube streets this morning before I did this live, and I saw Savage's community post and said, here's what's going to happen. Everybody's going to review the Bullhorn Betty thing directly in order. So I was like, okay, everybody must be talking about that. So this is why I went a little different avenue. So I just want to point some things out that I saw. I mean, again, this is not, I'm just questioning the dude. I think overall, it's good he's bringing eyeballs in. I'm not a Nick the Hat fan, people, at all. And I just want you guys to hear a few things that's being said. That's it. Also, look, it's great that he's bringing eyes and all that in, right? But all the shade is like directly thrown to Chris and Katie. Like, come on, man. That's some tragedy pimp shit, people. It's some tragedy pimp shit. At the end of the day, he's bringing eyeballs in. No different there. But I don't understand. I have a theory of what him and Nick are going to do. So I'll get there. But this is also coming behind. So I'm playing the Jennifer Coffindaffer interview that just happened. Remember that dog was on court TV a few days ago talking about Sebastian Rogers' case. And you had Tik Tok Tony on there. And there's that weird, uncomfortable, like pause. And like dog's like, who do you think did it? He's wanting Tik Tok Tony to say Chris and Katie. But, you know, that's why I made that parody the other day, guys, with the boner. But it was very uncomfortable, if you will, right? So you already know what Dog has said on court TV, okay? So I'm doing this after the court TV thing, and this is off Jennifer Coffindaffer, because he says the same things on both interviews, but there's a few different things that he didn't say, and I just want to review it. So let me hit some comments, and then we're going to do that. Not Truth Exposed. Hold on a second. Was that you, Truth, or was that? No, I think it was Troll Investigates. Let me see. Hold on. Let me just do something real fast. Because there's a petition for Betty. I was going to share you guys. Hold on. Let me make sure. I was Troll Investigates. Okay. He has picked this out. Yes, I believe so too. Yes, he is. Okay. Angry vajayjay required.
Please put your vagina away.
An angry one? Does it have a face like?
Yes, her vagina is always fucking pissed off. That fucking thing screams, you can hear it.
An angry vajayjay.
Yeah, it's got teeth and everything. It snarls.
Ooh.
Googly eyes.
What's it smell like? Was it angry?
Slime and anger.
All right. One can only know. All right. Anyway, let's do this.
I know, sadly. She sent pictures. I've even heard her talking.
All right. So let's review this. A couple things I noticed. Okay. Now look, I'm going to tell you all this here. Coffindaffer, I'm not a fan of. Coffindaffer, I'm not a fan of. Okay. I've done lives on her. People are supposed to respect this lady. At the end of the day, she is like law enforcement, right? But she's like ex-FBI and stuff. But she's a raggedy hoe. She's always picking a family member. And I bet, I don't know this, but I think Coffindaffer was like answering the TBI phone lines when she worked there. There's no way she was like in the missing children department. I mean, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. But this shit gets old where it's just like the police work, man. These missing children cases are difficult. There's a reason why the kids aren't found yet. It's not because the cops aren't doing their fucking job. It's because this shit is very hard to solve. But I think the laziest and dumbest thing to do is always like blame the parents. It's just silly to me. And then if you ask somebody who thinks it's one of these parents, say, well, why do you think like that? And they can never tell you. I get it. Most people are going to say, like, my gut feeling. Okay. I can't dispute that. But your gut feeling is something like, that applies like something different. Your gut feeling is like something in real life that happens to you. You got to make a decision or whatever. Or somebody that you know in real life think, won't do this to you or might do this to you or something like that. You go with your gut in that instance. You don't go with your gut feeling off some like random shit on the internet. I don't know. People might be different, but it's just crazy to me. Crazy to me. But I want to play this. Let's get into it. Look at that face. Look at that face on the screen. She's a coffin. Okay, so there's a couple things that he said. Again, him being in the case is a total net positive. I just think that there's a few things that I think that he's around some bad people. I'm going to get there. I'm going to prove my point, but let's just see about this. Let's get into it. Let's peel it back.
In addition to the FBI's $50,000 reward for information leading to Sebastian or to what happened to Sebastian. So without further ado, come on, dog, join me on stage.
Aloha, how are you, ma'am? Yay, FBI.
So glad to have you here. Listen, I am one that gets right down to nuts and bolts. So we're going to start on in. Dog, first of all, tell me, how did you hear about the Sebastian Rogers case and what?
I will say the dude looks good for 70 years old.
Fuckable good or just good?
Like you look at Dog the Bounty Hunter, you could just tell his cock is still getting hard, and he.
So if I bent over, he might just.
No, none of this.
Oh.
But you could tell he could probably look. Dog the Bounty Hunter could easily bang out 10, 15 push-ups right now at 71. He can jump in that pull-up bar, but probably bang about 2 to 3 up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in good shape for 71. This if I
So I'm just gonna drop something and bend over and see if he can
enticed you to go ahead and bring your
Why are
skill
you upset
set
that Dog's
to
working?
helping find him?
just because I don't know.
Well,
I don't
hearing
know.
about it, I'm going to blame on my new little partner, Nick the Hat,
It might be weird, but why not?
because he's a internet sleuth. I mean, this, and I'm sorry to say kid, but young man is fantastic. So he said, he knows.
Okay, look here. This is where my only problem comes with Dog. I think that he's getting played, people. Before I say anything, I like Dog the Bounty Hunter because he has the same background as me and Nick the Hat for that reason. Dog the Bounty Hunter has officially changed his life. He's officially changed his life, and I actually look up to people like that, people. I like that. People look at him and they don't call him a felon, a convict. I mean, maybe his haters do, but that'd be silly. He's changed his life. I think he looks good for his age, 71. And this is all my opinion, guys. I think, though, that Dog might be getting played. Dog, I don't even know what he did to go to prison. Chat, what do you go to prison for? I don't even care. You know what? Don't even type it. I don't even want to know. But I've been in and out of jail. I've been to prison myself a couple times because I used to make fast money, y'all. I used to sell dope. You know what I'm saying? When the police catch me, I just don't feel like going to jail that day. So somebody's running and somebody's getting hit. Somebody might catch a punch, body slam. Who knows? I just didn't feel like going to jail that day. But
How'd that work out?
it doesn't work out good. I'm glad I didn't do that last night.
Oh
But
my God, so am I.
am I perfect?
Yes.
No, because
Want to see my ass? Is my ass perfect?
I'm not. I still struggle with, sometimes, wanting to get high and all that other type of stuff. I still struggle with that.
Everybody does. When you're true.
So I still struggle with it, but it's always an ever going, an ever going thing in my mind, right? I've changed my life, but the thought is still there and this and that. I think everybody who's done time, no matter what their crime was, that applies to them as well, right? It applies. You don't think, like, I'm in tough times right now financially. You don't think I could go, like, put a couple paychecks together and go get a brick and flip it and get myself up out of here? You don't think that crosses my mind? Of course it does. Of course it does. But my point to me telling you this, I don't care what Dog did. Nick the Hat, man, that dude has been convicted of fraud. He runs with JLR. I've seen JLR and Betty. I've seen them sell that guy interviews in front of me. That guy is on some political shit where he's like doing these weird agitations, this paid agitation in the political scene. I don't think that I'm talking about Nick. I don't think that Nick the Hat has Sebastian's best interest whatsoever. And I think that somebody who's got a little bit of game, who does fraud, who's a fast talker, they might be able to run game on old Dog. Not saying Dog the Bounty Hunter's green or nothing, but man, you could clearly tell that Nick is running a little game on this guy, because in this interview and on the Court TV thing, Dog says, well, Nick the Hat, my buddy, my partner, is a good dude, this and that. But he says the same thing of why Nick reached out to him in both interviews. Have a listen.
About the bounty hunting, and when he was young, he watched the show, and he said, Dog, if you'd get in on this, and I have found missing children, by the way, and if you get in on this, you know, all your followers, all your friends, all your peeps are going to get behind you. So that was the reason that I first initiated in.
So Nick the Hat reaches out to Dog and says, if you get in on this, your followers will come, this and that. And again, we appreciate Dog's audience and him bringing a lot of attention to the case. But does that sound, Nick the Hat is not saying like, hey, man, the call is not like, hey, man, there's a little boy out of Tennessee, a little teenage kid, he's still missing. Can you make a post about this? Can you get involved on this? No, it's, hey, get in on this. Can you get in on this? In my opinion, this is Nick getting Dog, you know, to get in on it for the money. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, let's just say that's what happened and they find Sebastian, they want the reward money. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just think Nick is running game on this guy, people. I'm going to let it play. What are your comments?
Then, you know, I'm a bounty hunter, truth and justice, right? And now that I'm in the case, first of all, I thought, you know, someone, maybe his real father could have done something. And because that's what was the rumors on everywhere, right? Then after looking into where he was, what was going on with him, now getting to know him, it was not the real dad. So now it's a bounty hunt. I may have to say, you know, on your show who I think it is. I'm not sure if I should.
So he doesn't say it, but just let him talk and it's going to come out. It's all Chris and Katie. And this is something weird. And I want to say something, right? I want to say something. And I have to admit that I was actually starting to gravitate towards this myself. And I think a lot of people, either you're a subscriber or a creator, are doing the same thing. In Sebastian Rogers' case, a lot of people rag on Seth. And you know, that's fine. Everyone's open to their own opinion. But I think that Seth gets a lot of heat and people dog on him and rag on him a lot because of his associations. Okay. He does come off like the jealous type, whatever. Okay. Whatever. But people are taking straight digs at Seth because of the BHB stuff, because of TikTok Tony. Okay. Because of all this stuff. Right. And I understand what he says and all this, but at the end of the day, I don't think that Seth or Chris or Katie did nothing to Sebastian Rogers. I think, though, that people indirectly are selling Seth out all the time, and that is trashy pimp shit, people. It is trashy pimp shit to rag on a parent of a missing child. No matter how you slice and dice it, there's still trashy pimp behavior, and I think people are doing that on accident because of who Seth has surrounded himself with. You know what I'm saying? I have to be careful too because I'm making parodies and stuff, and I don't want to indirectly shit on Seth, even though I'll admit it now. If it comes to Chris and Katie and Seth, it's almost like I formed a bias towards Chris and Katie because of who Seth has hung out with. I'll admit it. I have to watch what I say because I don't want to shit on either parent. Okay, that's not right. They're both grieving. You know what I'm saying? So it's very tough to do this, but I've checked myself and I've made sure that not to shit on Seth. But I think a lot of creators accidentally do this. I don't even know if they purposely do it. There's some that absolutely purposely do it, but it's just something I've been wanting to say. Let's continue this.
But now I'm going after I hope they do leave. I hope they bolt, because I will chase them, as you know, anywhere, even into Mexico. So, you know, that's the reason I'm in it. And the reason that I'm going to absolutely, with all the help I've got, you know, we're going to find where he is and who helped him get away, or if he is passed away, who did that. You know what I mean? So we're all praying that he's still with us.
Absolutely, dog. So this is so interesting to me, because when you think about it, right, this goes to the point that Sebastian's name wasn't getting out there. It was, in fact, a Nick who came to you and let you know about what was happening here. That shows to me how little attention was being brought to him more on a nationwide stage. In other words, dog, you weren't getting in your car and hearing about Sebastian Rogers. And I think now people are. They're hearing about it even more. People like yourself and many other people.
Well, I think people, Jennifer, were scared because the stepfather, while the volunteers were out volunteering, you know, to help find the boy, he, one lady's got him on video threatening her, saying, "You better get out of here. Just get out of here." Well, she's saying, we're here to help find, you know, your son, Sebastian. The cops are here. That's enough.
Okay, so I don't want to dispute anything that he's saying. He says some stuff about Chris on here that I don't even know about. I'm not going to dispute or push back on anything he's saying. I do want to point out that he's talking to Coffindaffer, who, the reason I don't like her is how she's been to Don and Candace as an FBI agent. She has an agenda already with this interview. She does not like Chris and Katie. Okay. She's interviewing somebody who doesn't like Chris and Katie. Okay. He's talking about a lot of things with Chris Proudfoot right now. And I'm not going to dispute any of those things, but I've showed the court paperwork on the Katie Proudfoot restraining order with Seth. And there were some things that were weird there, people. If I'm going to point it out, there was a neighbor. This is court documented paper, not court documented paperwork, not my opinion. There were things that there was a neighbor who was trying to go through the adoption services to get a child. And the people came out to check the house out, and Seth ran the people away. Seth ran the people off. This is a neighbor trying to get an adoption. There's a lot of, he's also done some things like this. Okay. I'm not saying one is better or worse than the other. He's about to tell you a lot of things about Chris. I'm just saying, here we go again with the Seth is an absolute angel, 100%. And Chris and Katie are the devil. It's getting old. It's getting old. Maybe, and this is very possible, his connections and partners are telling him this stuff. Because as you listen to Dog, he tells you in the beginning, people thought it was Seth. His whole outline of the case and the things that he says are all stemming directly via YouTube. So in my view, it looks to me as somebody's telling him what's happening in this case via YouTube, not via law enforcement, but via YouTube drama. That's what he's repeating here. He's going to say also, as I let it play, that Chris and Katie did not search. Well, either did Seth. Finally, Seth admitted that he was saying that he was searching. He said that he wasn't allowed to search. Candace is in the chat. People would always say, why aren't Don and Candace searching? They're not allowed to search. Law enforcement strictly says, do not search. You have to follow law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? You have to follow what they say. Finally, Seth admitted, well, I wasn't actually in the woods searching, but I was driving around looking. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but say that. Don't say you're searching and then say Chris and Katie isn't, because it's crazy as hell. But there's a couple things that I know he's getting his information via YouTube, because no reporter has said this. No law enforcement has said this. No. Tragedy pimps and scumbags have said this. So I know he's getting his information from YouTube. Pay attention. Let's keep it moving. And again, he's 71 years old, y'all, and his heart is probably in it for the right reasons. I just think he is getting played. You know what could be also a possibility? He could be playing all of us. He's not stupid. He has found people. Maybe he's playing Seth. Maybe he's what he's saying is not even what his narrative really is. Maybe he's watching everybody. We just don't know. We have to be grateful he's bringing eyes in. I think he's surrounded by bad people, but the talk is very tragedy pimp like. You know, it's Chris and Katie. It's Chris and Katie. Seth is an angel. Let's continue.
Then the horse, the people, the volunteers on the back of a horse was saying, or riding a horse, sorry, were saying they were harassed too. Then the dog handlers, the bloodhounds, those people were harassed. Now, I did a Brian Laundrie, which is coming on, and I'd like to have you on my dogcast too, please. But I did a Brian Laundrie, and I'm starting a new dogcast. And the reason you should have seen the volunteers, FBI retired, CIA retired, police that were there. This same dog lady that went there from Florida, you know, she had 3 different dogs, a bloodhound. All those people, not just Dog and his team, but all those people started getting leads and leads and leads and leads. And that's been throughout my whole career. You know, if someone, as you know, you don't look in a glass ball and genie, rub it, and you know, it's people that in confidence will tell us who did it, where they're at.
Can somebody please tell me what and who he's talking about in the Brian Laundrie case? A woman with dogs. Who is he talking about? I want to know who he's talking about, because I was out there almost every day out there. I've never what woman with dogs? Anyway, who's he talking about, chat? I have no idea who he's talking about. A woman with dogs giving him leads. Who is he talking about? There was nobody. Who's talking about out there? He came out there and knocked on the Brian Laundrie's sister's door. Okay. He pulled up in an SUV. He gets out. He rings the doorbell. Nobody answered. The media is taking pictures of him. He jumps in the SUV and he leaves. And then he did like 10 media interviews about him going there and doing it. And he said he was searching. So I have a video on my channel, and the video is called "Dog the Bounty Hunter, Hold My Beer," because we came close to finding Brian Laundrie on accident, but we did technically. So I was clowning back then, but I don't know who he's talking about. This lady with the dogs. Who's he talking about, guys? And Dog was barely out there. Yeah, but who's the lady with the dogs? Do you guys know? Somebody says he's senile. Who's he talking about? I don't remember any lady out there with dogs, but I'm going to play this. The synopsis of this is he's going to continue talking, saying some things. In my view, what he's trying to do here is get people to call these tip lines and tell them information, which is not a bad plan whatsoever. It's a good plan. But it's almost like, well, we'll get there in a second. Just pay attention.
Why they did it. And now there's $100,000 reward. So I just can't believe that, you know, the stepfather would allegedly, let's be sure that word's, even though this lady's got him on tape, would run people off. That is, I've done this 44 years, captured over 10,000 fugitives. I understand that, you know, probable cause in your world, you gotta have probable cause. But I was trained, probable cause means probably. you probably did this, or you probably broke into this place. So there's enough probable cause that I'm creating, Nick and I, that there, even if we don't find Sebastian alive, that the perpetrator is going to be arrested.
Okay, guys, I'll just say it right now. I don't know if Dog knows really who he's dealing with this guy, Nick the Hat. This guy, Nick the Hat, is not a good person, people. Heels in the air really did some digging. Babe, didn't you have a file on this guy as well?
I have an entire file on him and on Jonathan.
Good or bad person, Nick?
He's not good. That's where you got
He's
all the
not a good
charges.
person.
Remember when you showed the charges and paperwork on Jonathan?
Yes.
That same day, I obtained 2 giant files.
Yeah.
One on him and one on Nick.
It gets.
They've been working together for years.
I need to do a video about that to tell people about it. All right. Well, I'm gonna put a video out there, guys. I'm gonna put up a video about it on Nick the Hat. I don't care about these people's lawyers and stuff because the awareness needs to get out there. I'm telling you guys, I'm not out here lying to you guys. I'm not pushing no agenda over here. That guy Nick the Hat is no good, guys. And I don't dislike Dog the Bounty Hunter. I think what he's doing with the eyeballs on Sebastian is awesome. But what I think is happening is he's working with somebody who is either manipulating him or selling him dreams or what. If you're listening to what he says, just what he said, they have this tip line so people can call in and say whatever, and then he's going to use his platform to put that in the police's face. People could just tell these people anything. But Nick the Hat, Queefy said it best, chaos sells. He is a paid provocateur. Is that how you say it? A paid, yeah. He's trying to tell people that they're going to solve this thing. I do think they're the $50,000 that they're talking about. They do have. Dog wouldn't put his name on that if they didn't. But I think that Nick the Hat is trying to coerce him into people calling and them getting enough tips that they can then put pressure on the police to make an arrest on Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Okay, that's something that would Nick the Hat would be all up his lane to do. Okay, that's exactly something he would do. Again, I'll make the video. Give me a little bit, but just continue. I think that Dog here is getting played, unless he pulls one over on everybody and he's looking at all these people. Very possible.
You know, I think it's great because I've seen this evolve from you. Obviously, I've been keeping a very close eye on what you've been saying in the media because I wanted to see how things had been evolving since you first got involved. And
Yes.
One of the things was I first noticed that you made comments, that you thought he was alive, and then you made other comments that he may or may not, and it's starting to evolve that now you think you might know who you believe based on different clues that you've been given, who might be responsible. And I wanted to bring everybody's attention to that this wasn't Dog going in saying, I think so-and-so did it or so-and-so didn't.
No.
Or nothing happened or he walked away. I've seen an evolution. Tell us, Dog, what is your final conclusion? And then we'll talk about how you got there.
Exactly.
Well,
Earth.
let's talk about before the final, Jennifer. Let's talk about how I got there.
All right.
So, you're a former G woman, fan. So
Hold on one second.
I gotta watch what I say. So we first thought that he was, and still I don't know if he's alive, okay, or if he's deceased. But I first thought he was absolutely alive, the way people were talking and that this and that. Now, the reasons I think he may not be with us still is that he had to do a special drug for sleeping and another drug for something else. But I guess there has been rumors that there's 2 drugs from one side of the family, and then his dad says there was only one. Now, that one drug, he didn't need no drugs. That one drug, a heavy sleeping pill, was when he was with the mom. Sebastian was with his real mother, And about 2 to 3 weeks before he disappeared, he started doing that sleeping pill.
100% Candace.
It wasn't that he had to do the drugs all, 13, 12, whatever years. All of a sudden,
So like I told you, Dog the Bounty Hunter has been informed via YouTube about the Sebastian Rogers case. Have you guys heard law enforcement, any police report? I mean, for Christ's sakes, have you heard legacy media? As shitty as his job that the media does in 2024. I mean, everybody's awake to that. Everybody has woke up to how shitty the media is and how much they lie to us. But what I can't stand to see is YouTubers go below them. He has been informed via YouTube, people. He's talking about sleeping pills and this and okay, whatever, because actually Sebastian is on them, correct? But listen to this shit that comes next.
I'm not exactly right because I haven't read the court papers, but it sounded to me like the real dad was there was a custody change, that he was getting custody of the child. And a couple weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, before he was to receive Sebastian physically, he disappears.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody failed to inform Dog that on Web Sleuths Live, there was an argument between Seth and Chris, where Seth actually got caught in a lie because Chris said, don't you remember? Seth was talking about this. And then Chris said, wait. Don't you remember we talked about this in the kitchen? And Seth was like, what? Chris was like, yeah. We told you that Sebastian, something about, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like Chris told Seth that Sebastian didn't want to go live with him. They were talking about that as adults. Katie, Chris, and Seth. Sebastian didn't want to go to Seth's and live. And Seth got caught lying literally on Web Sleuths. Again, you could tell Nick the Hat's calling this dude. Nick the Hat 100% has an agenda on this. He reels in Dog. This is all my opinion. I mean, just think about the information Dog has on this. You can see where this is going, people. You can see where this is going, but he doesn't have the full play-by-play here, y'all.
Now, I lost a daughter, okay, Barbara Katie. I still to this day have her key ring. I would never throw things away that are Barbara Katie's. And, I have a lot of kids and a lot of them won't either. I would search and search. If Barbara was missing, one of my kids is missing, I would
excellent comment.
Searching. I would not stop searching. Now, guess what side of the family has stopped searching? Again, this is all guessing and what's the word? It's
why it's so crazy to me. Again, on that same live with Web Sleuths, I believe it was that live. I think it was. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. At sometime, I think it was Web Sleuths, Seth had to stop and admit that he wasn't out searching, but he was driving around because the police told him not to search. I've been arguing with tragedy pimps for years now because people say, oh, Don and Candace not searching. They were directed not to go out there and search. What bothers me is if you have an ex-FBI on here and you have somebody who has changed their life, but he does work with law enforcement on finding these people that are running from their bond and all this. Why aren't they saying the facts about they're not allowed to search? Why is she letting him run with this narrative? Because Seth wasn't even out there searching. He admitted to it. And this is what I mean, y'all, by me playing this live, I have to counter what was told to Dog the Bounty Hunter. And obviously his information he got about this case, Chopper, what's on the screen right now, has one of the best comments so far. But I have to counter what Dog's saying only because I know the information that he was given came from somebody like Nick the Hat or somebody who hates Chris and Katie. So indirectly, by me doing this live, I'm looking like I'm anti-Seth. And that is not the case at all. I don't think Seth had anything to do with his son missing, nor do I think Chris and Katie had something to do with their son missing. No foul play on any part. Okay? No foul play on any part. But I think people indirectly, creators indirectly, by doing this, are shitting on Seth, and that's not cool. Okay, that's not cool. But at the same time, by me saying that, it goes both ways. You can't indirectly shit on Chris and Katie all the time without any facts, any evidence. That's tragedy pimping, people. That is tragedy pimping. You can't blame either parent with no evidence. Is Seth a little bit weird and super jealous of Katie? Absolutely. She must have had that $1 million vagina. I mean, goddamn. Does Chris have his funny ways and shit too? Absolutely. But these are personality defects and people overanalyzing them and overthinking, and all that shit has nothing to do with Sebastian missing. Nothing.
I can't say it's absolutely true, but alleged.
It's conclusions you're making based on your past experiences, what you've seen people do, and what you're seeing in this case, I think.
Yes. And then his favorite color is green. His favorite, he loves animals, okay? So green, he loves animals. And there's something else that I can't think of it right now, but there's another thing that he absolutely does. So those things were not put out there. The mom had custody, live with the mom. That's the way that you find these little guys or girls like that, is they're experts in some things. And he was, then there's pictures of him, for somewhere dressed like a girl, looking like that. So, I mean, it's just there.
I don't really know what he's talking about there. I haven't seen that. I'm not saying that what he's saying is not true. But you guys put in the comments, is this something like a Halloween costume or something? Or say, call it down the board. See it from both sides. No one side. Hashtag stop playing the blame game. Good. There you go. Good. Very, very good. Very, very good comment, Earth. Appreciate that. That's what I thought. Is he talking about Queen? I don't know what he's talking about with Sebastian and girls. Is this a Halloween costume or something? I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not saying that he didn't see it. He could be getting wrong information. I have no idea. I have no idea.
There's so many things that don't add up on the mother, the stepdad. Then he allegedly says, Dog the Bounty Hunter will never, ever, ever find Sebastian. So
I have to ask the chat. I have not seen anything that Chris has said this. Is this true, guys? Was a screenshot off Tuncle? Okay, what's that mean, Blondie? So that it was said. Did Chris say that? One in the chat. If you've heard Chris say that, saw receipts on Chris saying that. 2, if you've never heard Chris say that. I haven't heard or seen the Sebastian as a girl, nor have I heard Chris say that Dog the Bounty Hunter won't find. Okay, so we have a 1. So you have heard him say that. I didn't hear Chris say that. I haven't heard of that either. Candace says, I didn't hear that. I haven't heard that. Following the missing child very closely and never heard of that. So Theory of Addiction has said 1. Theory of Addiction, could you please type where we can find that, or at least give us a channel or something that we can find that on? He's never said that with 4 2s. again, I think that this guy's getting bad information, people. I think he's getting played and manipulated by somebody who has been convicted of fraud. You know what? I have to go back to what I was saying earlier. Earlier, I was saying I used to make fast money. I've changed my life. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I don't know what Dog did, but Nick the Hat has been convicted of fraud, people. To be convicted of fraud, it's fraud. You have to learn about how to do fraud before you do it. Let me take Nick the Hat out of it. JLR has been convicted of fraud. JLR, does he still do fraud? I don't know. But I'll tell you what he does do. He'll dox and look into one of my subscribers for sharing my video on his Facebook page. He knows how to utilize personal information, this and that. It's hard to stop doing fraud, y'all. It's hard to say.
Once you know how to do it,
Yeah.
you're always, it's like a drug addict.
Exactly. When you go to prison, people that go to prison get incarcerated, especially prison, it doesn't change you. All it does is make you a worse criminal. Exactly. She's 100% right. If you go to prison, use myself as an example for selling drugs. Well, I just went to college because before prison, I only have these hookups and these plugs, right, to make money. When I go to prison, I'm locked up with people doing the same as I was, and they have different connections. They know different people, so I meet these people. We get to talking. And when I get out, if I don't make the mental change to change my life, to stop living like that, then I'm going to come out a worse criminal because now I have more connections. Okay. It doesn't help you. It makes you worse. You have to make the change yourself to leave that life alone. It's not what I think, but it's what I know. People who are into all these weird white collar crimes, they don't change. They just learn how not to get caught.
Unlike you did.
Oh, so did Andrew Luster. I don't know if you remember that case. 87 counts of rape. They'll never. And I caught Luster in 4 months. So
good for him.
There are so many TV shows out there where, oh, Doug, you can't find him. And usually it's the parent or the girlfriend that goes, oh, you'll never find him, Doug. Oh, yeah. And they're in the back room. So the never, never, never.
Angel, yeah, what a great comment that you just said. I got to go back to that. So, Angel, I am appreciative of your perception of what's going on in the YouTube streets. I really am. She says, isn't it strange JLR suddenly stopped reporting on this and hasn't mentioned Sebastian after all that's being said and done? He's quiet, big red flag. Well, that's because Nick the Hat is now involved. I told you guys, JLR and Bullhorn Betty sold Nick the Hat footage out there in the Petition case. You have heard, forget about what I said. You have heard Bullhorn Betty says that Nick the Hat owes her $400 and she doesn't fuck with him and this and that. And as soon as Nick got Dog involved in it, Bullhorn Betty is like, oh, well, fuck that $400. We'll put our differences aside. It's now gotten weird. It has now gotten weird because Nick the Hat doesn't really fuck with either one of them anymore. And he gets to control the tempo. At least that's what I believe. I have to double check that. I know somebody who knows somebody, and I got to double check that. But I will. But pay attention to that.
I'm going to find him, or I'm going to find out what happened to him. So all those things that side of the family are saying, conclusive evidence. What does that mean? That means Like, to me, that's like, man, what's the deal? Where's law enforcement?
What conclusive evidence, bro? You're repeating what tragedy pimps have told you and informed you of the case. Nothing that you have said is anything as of evidence. It might be strange behavior. It might be what the fuck. But nothing that you have said makes anybody guilty. As an FBI agent, you would think she'd be like, you know what, dog? That's actually not evidence, this and that. Let's see if she corrects him.
Tennessee, why haven't they went over there? And then he said on a show that he took a lie detector test on Nancy Grace, and Nancy Grace said, "Are you sure?" She's a good interviewer. "Are you sure that you took the lie detector test?" "Oh yeah." "Did you pass?" "Oh yeah." And then I talked to a Tennessee officer, and he says, "Well, I can't really tell you if he took the lie detector." I'm like, "Bro, that's public information." Well, I think he might have. Well, did he pass or fail? He flim-flammed around where, did he pass? Did he fail? Did he take one? I don't know if he even took one. Now, the real father has taken lie detector tests. Then I put out there, and this is also true, that there is a drug, the name of it, that will, I don't think it's sodium pentothal, something. I think that's a gas chamber stuff. It's close to that.
No, sodium pentothal.
That's it. Oh, good. So you can take that in a needle form, shoot it, and however through the vein or whatever, and you talk and you tell the truth. It's like Wonder Woman's rope when she throws it around the guy and he starts telling the truth. And that they used to use that in the Korean War, and they mix it with nicotine, and they get the Korean GIs that they capture, and they give them that, and they tell secrets. They did a lot of stuff. So that has been used. I mean, that can be ordered still by a doctor. Go in a room, lay down, boom, and then someone start questioning you. So all of a sudden, someone comes up, dog is gonna kidnap the stepdad and administer this stuff to him. Well, if it wasn't illegal, yes, I would. And I'll pause there. You better believe I would.
But your point is just that it's out there and you want to set the record straight. It's not something you're going to do. It's not something anybody's done. It's something you would do if
Correct.
you could do. So
Yeah.
I understand your point. I have a question for you, dog.
Sure.
There was something that happened pretty early on in the investigation, and that was that the Proudfoots, both of them, left their home. So they have an autistic child who supposedly walked away. What do you make of that? And have you seen that happen in any other case?
Okay, so this next area is going to be a little bit weird. 702 in the house. Can we get some likes? Can we get some likes on the video, y'all? How embarrassing. So technically she was rolling with Tony in. So, yep, you guys are hitting it on the head. Let me put these on the screen. BHB rolled in a chat with him a couple nights ago. Make that make sense because we don't speak on him. Why in the chat? Okay, people are hitting me up with it right here. I'm going to keep playing this. That's funny. That's fucking funny. Listen, guys, again, I like Dog. I think he's doing a great awareness on this. I think he's getting played. If he's done multiple interviews now, he's been on Court TV. This is now Coffindaffer. He's obviously getting his information, y'all, from somebody who hates Chris and Katie. Okay. He says he's found missing children. I don't know if he has or not. I don't remember that myself. I'm not saying that means he hasn't. He's okay in my book if he has or he hasn't. And I hate to see him getting played. And this is my opinion. What do you guys think? One in the chat if he's getting wrong information and getting played. 2 in the chat if I got it all wrong. Just want to read the room real fast. But it's just you hate to see it, people. you hate to see it. And they're going to talk about Katie and cameras and this and that. So I might speed through this part because I'll play a little bit of it, but they're talking about cameras and why yeah, I will, because they're going to say that they're going to be talking about cameras around the house. Katie was in the military. She works for a company. Coffindaffer doesn't say the company. Dog does. About cameras around the house with an autistic child. Here's one for you. My stepson, Noel's son, is autistic. Okay. We don't have any. We have a camera now. We don't have any. We didn't have any then. An autistic child. There's all different types of forms of autistic. Okay.
He's very high functioning, low end Asperger's.
Yes. So yeah, Asperger's. We don't need to have any cameras for that. You know why? An autistic child doesn't like their things messed with. I had to learn that. I had to learn not to go in there and put stuff in his drawers. If he wasn't putting his clothes away, I shove it into his drawers because he wants his stuff to be very set in its way, very organized, the way that he knows it. So for me to go shove his stuff in the drawers, if in his drawers or something, I'm doing more damage than I am helping him, right? If I mess with his PlayStation or whatever, he wants his things the way that he wants his things, and it's got to be that way, right? Knowing that, and I can go into more detail, but just knowing those little tiny examples that I told you, they're very set in their ways. Every autistic child is a little bit different, don't get me wrong, but to say that he's going to up and leave the house.
My son ran away. He went down the end to the stop sign, turned around and came back home. I forgot my wallet. He went to the candy store, came back, and he went back to his room again.
Exactly.
He ran away to the candy store.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll correct myself. There was one runaway.
Yeah, that was his only runaway, but it was the candy store that was right down the hill, and I watched him over the hill.
They're,
on top of the mountain.
my point is they're very set in their ways.
They don't
not saying that it can't happen. Because I do think there's something behind Sebastian leaving with an internet friend, but I just don't know what it was, what would set his triggers off. I don't know, and I don't want to speak on that because I just don't know. But what I'm telling you is we don't need any cameras because I know the kid is set in his ways, right? And this is coming from someone who had experience with an autistic son, okay? So I had to learn it. Not easy, guys. Not easy.
7 years, and you did a phenomenal
Never. It's all bull crap. How he got out the back, through the gate, why aren't they out there? You know, is everybody that stupid that they don't see who was instrumental behind this stuff? Absolutely. And
Well,
the
of
heat is
course,
on.
you know, you have to look at means and opportunity. Opportunity is such a huge one, and alibis are also very important. And when I look at Seth Rogers, I recently got information from his employment, and Seth Rogers was on duty. That was a big item I wanted to.
So there's been some like discrepancies about that, about Seth on duty. I think everybody knows he was on duty. There's the thing with the lunch break. I wanted to talk about this. In my experience as an inmate, listen, as an inmate, you watch the police. You have nothing else to do. A corrections officer, a CO that has a 12-hour shift, there is no lunch break. You're on a 12-hour shift. You walk to they walk to the cafeteria, they get a styrofoam tray, and they go back to the booth and eat. That's just what happens, people. There's no clock out. There's no clock out. However, I've only done time in Florida. I don't know how it goes in Tennessee. But anybody, maybe somebody has done time in Tennessee. Let me know in the chat. But there's a lot of like discrepancies. If Seth has been to work, man, I don't know if all that is even worth anything. Could be wrong. Y'all let me know. What's up, Skunk? Let me play it though.
Drop. I haven't posted it yet. I will. I've had it. Mine is, at least at this point, possible because of the alibi. But I want to move back and talk a little bit more about Sebastian and when he disappeared and some of the actions that took place. Did you make anything of the fact that instead of calling 911, they phoned the local sheriff's department directly, which of course wouldn't necessarily be taped? Any idea on that? Any thoughts?
See, I don't understand. You know, all I know is 911. So I thought that if you called any, you know, if I talk to police, sheriffs or police, I have to call on their special phone, their cell phone. You know, so I don't know if, I thought when you called into a police department, they're recording it, but you would know more. And why wouldn't they call 911?
All right, look,
Because that's made public. And then let's go back to the camera. Okay.
So on this, I don't know. I believe it's been debunked on this of why they did that. I will say though, it is a little bit weird why they didn't call 911. I'm not gonna lie. But then again, I believe Chris explained it. Let me just double check the chat. Only law enforcement have the facts. The rest is rumor. This is so true. He was on light duty working in the laundry department at the time. Gotcha. That's weird because in Florida, the inmates worked. Oh, so he was the CO in the laundry. Gotcha. Seth was working in the garage. He didn't leave the back because the door was locked. I ran away from home to my candy store, the ABC store. That's funny. It didn't matter which part of the jail Seth was working in. He was more than likely sleeping. Seth Rogers is lazy. Slight dig, but I can go for it. But no, honestly, I don't think Seth. So I don't even understand like the lunch thing. So let's just say Seth left for lunch on the 12-hour. Am I to believe that Seth was working a 12-hour shift, clocked out for lunch, did something to Sebastian, came back to work? No, I don't do that. I can't subscribe to that. I can't subscribe. With Seth, the only thing I think of him is I think he's obsessed with Katie. Again, she has to have $1 million vagina, people. Remember that clip of MGL where she's like, I want to have a Paris Hilton vagina. I'll play it. You guys want to see it? I'll actually play it in a minute. She tried to get surgery on her vagina for a Paris Hilton vagina.
She had a vagina lift. Remember that?
She might as well. So give me the Katie Proudfoot vagina.
She did an interview on her vagina lift and said how it's so pretty now.
On three-way. Gotcha. Because Katie was frantic, so she called Chris. Chris called law enforcement. He couldn't call 911 because he was 3 hours. That is correct.
That's right.
That's correct.
You will be routed to your nearest.
That is absolutely correct. So I take that back. I don't find it weird. I got to stick to the facts. Chris, you haven't paid attention to this case. That is correct. I forgot about that. But why hasn't anyone told Dog this? This guy's going on court TV. I could make a simple mistake on my little YouTube channel. But why hasn't people told this guy all the details of the case? Why? This is somebody who hates Chris and Katie is informing this guy of what's going on.
Nick and I interviewed a week or more ago that till Nick got in trouble about stuff, then that now he can't even, contact anybody. So we interviewed seen an interview on a lady that was Native American, Hapa in Hawaii. That means half breed. Hapa Native American and Hapa Latino.
Is this guy talking about Chris's ex-girlfriend? Is that who he's talking about right now, guys? It's Dog's own fault for not checking Chopper. You already said that, and you're 100% right. You are 100% right. You actually are. It seems to me that Dog got a phone call from this guy who hates the Proudfoots, who we already know is a paid provocateur. This guy Nick the Hat pays people for chaos, like Queefy said. I literally witnessed, before I truly knew who JLR and Betty was, I watched Betty sell a clip of her talking to Brian Laundrie's father to TMZ.
Not father, sister.
No, was that TMZ?
Yeah, she said she's waiting for a TMZ.
Yeah. But that
Well,
remember.
That wasn't the father. I'm the one that talked to Chris.
No. Remember, Chris did come out for only a second.
Oh yeah, at the mailbox.
Yes.
They called my
Yes.
mailbox.
Yep.
And Roberta came down and grabbed him.
Yes. So they sell. Yeah, no, it's okay. So they sold the interview to who? They sell the interview to the sister. Was that TMZ? So Dog the Bounty Hunter came to Brian Laundrie's sisters when we're all out there. Not like I said, I saw him come. He jumps out, knocks on the door. He rides away. Then we were there for some time. There was a day we did not go. JLR Betty got the sister to come out. Actually, I'm sorry. We were there and we left, right? We were there that day and we left. Betty texts us, hey, she came out, this and that. We're like, holy shit, give us the link. Let me see. She didn't want me to see it because she was on the phone selling the interview to TMZ. Another time JLR and Betty were selling an interview was when they talked to Brian Laundrie's father. He came out only for a second. He walked to the mailbox to grab a garbage can or something, walked back up. But another time, they sold it to Nick the Hat. And Nick the Hat sold it to another media agency. So what are these clips that are getting sold? It's chaos. It's people out there driving the neighbors crazy. The sister comes out. It's chaos moment. Clicks and views get sold. It's when Brian Laundrie's father breaks for a moment. The clicks and views. So Nick the Hat, this is what he goes for. He absolutely has an agenda, people. And it seems to me that's why Dog is getting misinformed. Let me read the chat. I keep this playing. This is my opinion.
Tina, Spanish or Mexican. She was, I think, married to the stepdad. And they tried to take her.
No, he did not.
Shelby, thank you first.
He did not find him.
He did not find Brian Laundrie, Shelby. I'm in Florida, and I can swear Dog was one when they found Brian. No, he did not find him. He did not find him. The FBI found Brian Laundrie's human remains. He did not find them. He was only there for a very short amount of time. And this is on my playlist of the Petito case, or you can go to, I made it public, guys. I have a playlist that says Exposing Dog Shit on the Ground, which is the Betty, JLR, all those people, Molly. I've made it public now so you guys can go back and view. But no. Huh? I think I had it unlisted for some reason. I don't remember.
Her baby. He physically hurt the baby. He hurt her. It seems like 3 or 4 of his ex-wives have all been beat up and made police reports. The guy's been in jail for that, okay? Now, what she says is I think the last wife, she said he's military.
Helen, yeah.
Cameras around
Excellent memory.
Everywhere. So where's the cameras in his house? When you have a child like that, where is the footage?
The camera plays. This is what I meant to skip.
Was in the military. And I want to...
and there's places where he was at a Walmart we're checking on. The more the lawyers jump in and say, then there's got to be someone else that knows about it. And I don't know if there's a death penalty there in Tennessee. I think there is. But even if the mom knows and the dad knows, the first one to walk away and tell, the first one that talks walks, even in the federal system.
So guys, I got a secret to tell you. I haven't watched this whole interview. Huh?
I have watched it. That's true.
So I'm gonna play this whole thing with you guys, and we're gonna keep chatting about it. But I've watched about halfway through it, so only knows what I halfway through last night. I was pissed, and I was like, I have to do a live about this. And again, I do not want people to think that I'm anti-Seth or anti-Dog. I think Dog is a good person, and he's a Christian. I think he's got his heart. I don't think even if he's trying to make, even if Nick and him were like, look, let's get involved in this. We can probably find the boy. We'll get $50,000. We can raise $50,000. We can, even if that's what they do, that's fine, man. I don't have whatever. I just like people to be transparent. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care if that's what it was, but I just think that, and this is just my view, I think that Nick the Hat is manipulating this man to use his platform to get more eyes on this. Nick the Hat has been off the chain with the Twitter post, with everything as of lately, and it's crazy. I'm not even mad that people called his probation officer. Come on, this is the internet. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You can see me crying about it when it happens. When it got happened to me.
We laughed about it.
Yeah, I just got people back. You know what I'm saying? But then they got lawyers involved and shit. A bitch better not ever give me no cease and desist. I got a big ass blonde curly wig. I will make 1,000 Dog the Bounty Hunter fucking lives. Cease and desist then, bitch.
And why is the FBI, when they're only, involved in not only interstate, that, state to state stuff, why are the feds in on this? And I know the feds good. I went to school.
That is true. He should have done his research, guys.
Since the 80s, I had a Fed guy that trained me. And I know the feds now, when I talk to them, all they can do is listen. But why are the feds in on a child that is missing from Tennessee?
I want to explain that really quick.
Finally, she corrects a little bit of something.
So what the FBI can open in different cases is called police cooperation cases. There's a special jurisdiction that we can do that. And when we do that, then we get the money, resources, you can assign agents, blah, blah, blah. So you can full on help with a local investigation, even though you likely are not going to be dealing with it in the adjudication now. But let me take your point a step further. And this is where I wholeheartedly agree with you. To get a $50,000 reward, and I want all of us to think about the Michael Vaughns, the Summer Wells, all the Harmony Montgomery, all these very famous children who have gone missing.
I wish you would get off.
Why are we seeing $50,000, which is a high threshold for the FBI to be able to achieve? And that local case agent has to run it through his boss, has to do an amazing write-up to show that they think that money is going to be fruitful. And it goes.
So this is actually pretty good insight. I don't like her, but she has worked with the FBI and she's explaining how the 50,000 got there. And it seemed like a process that the FBI did. So, shout out to the TBI for actually doing this. I was a little bit, I don't understand like what kids get it and stuff.
Why is one child allowed to get it over another? Why do they deserve it more than everything? They should all get. It is,
and it is fucked up what happens to Indian. I can't say that word. What's it called? Indigenous. I can't say that damn word. How you say it? Indigenous. Sorry. Indigenous. Yeah. Indigenous families and kids. I was going to say Indian. I hope it doesn't offend anybody. Indigenous. No. Indian kids. Indians. What's wrong with Indians?
Because I don't know, somebody will get pissy.
No, I'm helping them right now. Shit, they better not get pissy. Indian families get done dirty, y'all. I can't say that word. If anybody gets offended about my Indian stuff, then I'm gonna get double offended that you're making fun of my EDD because I can't say indigenous, whatever it is. That's how that's gonna go. I'll go double the woke on you.
I'll say it for you. Look, see it spelled.
Indigenous.
No,
not indigenous. Oh, native. Look.
Indigenous. See, truth exposed. Spelled what I was sounding out. There you go.
Here we go. Indigenous. Indigenous.
Just point to me and I'll say it. Fucking fuck.
All right, look. You're not even paying attention.
Indigenous.
Families get done dirty because the FBI never helps
Indigenous
families. They don't ever give them $50,000.
The politics between it, that if it happens on a reserve or another reserve or outside the reserve, and they have their own way of doing their illegal stuff, their laws and stuff.
But seriously, they get done dirty, people. And look, don't even. And when's the last time there was a $3,000 reward for anybody black? I'm just keeping it real, guys.
I think, isn't there an award automatic for anybody, or is it the family?
No, it's all the FBI is weird. They do what the fuck they want.
Isn't the I always thought the family had to offer it at first, and then when it became a major thing where it's ongoing,
nobody really knows. She would know, but she's not going to peel that banana back. It just fucked up. And I'm only talking. And I'm talking about this because why didn't TBI? You know, why isn't there something still for summer? It's very. My point to this is it's very weird. What kid gets what? I'm grateful they did this for Sebastian. I don't want to sound like a hater. I'm grateful for that, but I'm just saying, like, why did they do that? There's so many missing children. Like, why? It's very weird. I don't think we'll ever understand like the deeper politics behind the money of finding somebody. But she's giving us some detail right now, which is pretty interesting, y'all. So I want to point that out. Well, let's keep this going.
Goes clear on up to headquarters. So, dog, I totally agree with you. That reward is significant.
Yes, and that we've added, you know, our volunteers have told Nick we're adding another 50. That's the $1/10,000,000. You know, that's a lot of money. And again, if there was more than one person involved in this, they're going to be charged in Tennessee where it's all
indigenous.
You know, each person is guilty of the same crime. So somebody's got to, you know, drop a dime.
100%, Shelby.
Ratting, it's saving someone's life. Especially, you know, I'm very, I follow Jesus a lot. And the Bible says if you know, Jesus out of his own words says, if you do something bad like this to a child, you need a rope hung around your neck and you cast into the sea with a weight put on it.
God bless. Amen on that, dog. This is why I like Dog the Bounty Hunter, and this is why I don't like to see him get played, people. This is just my opinion. I'm going to stop the show real fast. We got a lot of good creators in the chat right now. A lot of good creators. We got Kit, small creator, great research. We got Shelby's in the house.
But I love her big, huge bunches.
Truth Exposed in the house. Who else am I missing? If I'm missing, say something so I can put you on the screen. I'm on StreamYard, so it only goes so much up. This is the last comment that I see right here. But I'm going to go all the way up.
You're so right, Truth. You can't say anything fucking right anymore.
Yeah, I don't. Listen, that's another thing.
Everybody's offended by something. I'm going to play it on repeat while he's sleeping, and it's just going to be my voice saying indigenous.
Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? You are going to be repeating that word. Thank you, Shelby. I appreciate that. Agreed, dog. I hope he takes all sides and opinions. Hey, man, he needs to. I know I feel talking about race because
speech
we're damned.
Therapy or something. Maybe we can get you classes.
Yeah, race is very. Race is, you know, it's such a stupid topic in my opinion.
It became a very touchy situation out of the blue. All of a sudden.
You cannot change. You cannot do anything about the eyes that God gave you. The color of your eyes. I got brown eyes. I cannot cry about them.
I had hazel eyes.
They're never going to change.
My eyes change colors.
Noelle's eyes change colors due to her mood. But so she gets multiple eye colors, but I have brown. I'm stuck with brown. I can't do nothing about that. I have brown eyes. It's the same for your skin.
My dad's
it's the same for your skin.
Has 2 different colored eyes.
The race shit is like meant to divide us, man. And it's stupid. I don't like talking about it either. It's stupid. It's just stupid, you know what I mean? But it that's how I feel about it, man.
You never met my dad's son, but his eyes are 2 different colors. He's like a fucking husky or something.
What is it called when your eyes change?
Eye and a blue eye. I have hazel eyes.
There's a word for that, isn't there?
Hazel.
No, there's a word for it. If your eyes change colors, Vicky says hers does too. Election.
Lessons. Allocate. Election.
All right, let me get back to this guy. Let's see what he says. We're 25 minutes into an hour. I think I watched to about 30 minutes. So I'm going to be seeing some shit that's new, and we're just going to keep running with this.
I don't know if there, you know, a lot of people tell me, is there any unpardonable sins, dog? Is there something, you know,
is any creator's
that
names?
You can do that you cannot repent for?
Please say it.
And I'm like, you know, I don't know. out of Jesus's mouth, he said, you know, that
It
person
did. Wifey.
needs
Damn it.
a
She was
rope
correct.
around his neck and put
Back
him
on,
to
I'll
the
put the
sea,
creators back
the
on the screen,
bottom of
guys,
the
for people
sea.
catching the replay.
So is there, can
Subscribe
you
to these
be
channels.
forgiven? You know,
Put
the
it-
Bible
I'll put
says,
the links in the
though, on
description
another
after this.
part, that you can be forgiven for any sin, but Jesus himself said. So, you know, please, people, you know, who somebody's got to know. You know, Jen, someone else has got to know. And like you said, go ahead.
I totally agree with you, Dog. And I want to add something, that the reason it's important to get people like yourself involved in cases like this is sometimes people are not comfortable with going to the FBI. They don't want to go to local law enforcement because they don't trust that their identity is going to be preserved.
I gotta say, this is actually true, guys. We have talked to the private investigator in Summer Wells' case, and yeah, who big shout out to that woman, that couple. And they have actually told us this themselves. So this is actually true what she's saying. For some reason, people don't trust, and they would rather tell somebody that they do. I just want to mention that.
They know that if they call the FBI, somewhere somebody's recording something, and same with local law enforcement. The reason that your involvement to me was so important is because it allows people who do not want to be identified the ability to give a clue. So, Dog, I want to ask you this.
Yes.
Approximately, tell us, when you first got involved compared to now, how many tips a day are you getting when you first got involved to compared to now?
Well, it grows daily. Okay. Right away, you know, I've used 833 Tell Dog on Cavalcante and a couple things you and I and Nick been in on together, a couple of fugitives.
Okay. 1833 Tell Dog. So this is as far as I watched. I didn't know he gave the number, but we'll absolutely call him that right now. So 1833 Tell Dog is 100%. And so I watch this because
should we practice the words you want to say first?
What him and Nick are doing is very simple. They're trying to get tips to put pressure to the police. Let's give it a call.
Wait, you don't want to talk about what you want to say
TELLDOG.
I don't even know if I'm going to.
Hi, this is Dog the Bounty Hunter. Thank you for calling the tip line. Please leave your number and I will return the call.
Dog, how you doing? This is Billy. Look, the thing about it is, I think you need to take a look at the guy, Nick the Hat, a little bit. He's got to, listen, Nick the Hat might be giving you a little bit of misinformation. I'm here watching the two interviews, one on Court TV and one with Jennifer Coffindaffer, and I'm listening to the words that you're saying, and I can't help but notice you keep repeating things that were said via YouTube, and it's coming off like the things you're saying are very anti-Chris and Katie Proudfoot, but pro Seth Rogers. And I just think, as a viewer, someone who's interested in the case, I think that everybody should be looked at as a whole and not one parent put on a pedestal and the others to look like Satan on a public platform for all to view. I think that would be done wrong. So I know you have a good heart, brother. Praise Jesus. Amen. I just think that whoever's giving you the information, you need to maybe take a look into who's telling you about the case, because there are some things on these interviews that you forgot to say. And I am a fan of you, and I would never want you to look bad. You take care. Thank you for getting involved. God bless.
Well, there's that. Hallelujah.
You know, we've done a lot of interviews on local or on national television shows, you and I. So I've used that tip line since Brian Laundrie 3-4 years ago. And we got like, we're working up to about 2,000 tips. And Brian Laundrie was over 4,000. And a lot of them, though, are you know, dog, we love you. When are you going to get your show back? Da, 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 da. But we have got a lot of tips where, you know, he could be, every tip is he's alive. Okay. That's one thing that I'm encouraged about and want to encourage his dad and everyone else who really loves him. You know, I called family members of the mother and said, listen, your daughter could be in danger. This is dog. You got to call me back. No calls at all. No calls from any brothers, nothing. I've called everyone.
Wow. So he didn't call him. That's crazy. So he's calling just Katie's fit. What the fuck, people? Wow.
No calls. Matter of fact, I called a couple, said, this is your last call, you know, because I don't want to be harassing them on the phone, which, but, you know, and no one of the family has called me back. You know, where's the stepdad's big bucks mama? She big bucks, sister. Let me tell you, she got big bucks.
Holy shit. Tell me that didn't come from Bullhorn Betty. All right, y'all. Now, I haven't watched this far. Abby. I haven't watched this far. Okay, I'm just getting more aggravated now. Come on, y'all. This is out of control. The man's telling people he's called only Chris and Katie Proudfoot's family. He's getting aggravated because they're not calling him back. Well, goddamn, dude. You've gone on 2 interviews and you've just mudded that side of the family. You praise Seth, but you mutt them. What are they supposed to, like, suck your ass? Come on, bro. And if they did call you back, you'd make a scene out of that. What the fuck? Come on, y'all. Come on with this, y'all. This is getting out of control. Come on, dog. You're smarter than this, bro. You should have done your research. Somebody, you didn't do your research, man, and you depended on these tragedy pimps, and now they're gassing you up. And, oh, man, this is not good, guys. This is not good.
Where's her giving some money for Sebastian's found? Where's that money at? Private planes, this and that. Hey, you know, put up some money, Mama Cass. Big money, Mama. Let's see some cash.
I love this point. I love this point.
Of course you do.
You have you all coming in. You have the FBI coming in, but you have family with money.
Yeah.
Seth works at a you know, a incarceration facility. He doesn't have money. He's just making ends meet. All of us have seen his little apartment. I mean, he's just making ends meet. But there's money on the other side, and I think you bring up a good point. I want to talk to you about
that's such crazy what she just said. Seth is making ends meet. Okay, he's a CO. He makes a CO salary.
It's not much.
But to compare the other side, you go above Chris and Katie to their parents. Their whatever money their parents have, it's their fucking money. It's the money that they're gonna live with. You're just assuming that whoever has the money they're talking about, either on Chris or Katie's side, is just going to like totally fund Chris and Katie's life. This is craziness, people. What the fuck?
something else, and I'd love to get your response on this. Very early on in the investigation, law enforcement put together a probable cause affidavit signed off on by a judge to search the dump. The dump where both the construction site near the home as well as their trash could be taken to. There's areas of the dump. But what do you make of that? Because law enforcement tried to say this was routine. Dog, talk to me about how routine dump sites are. Come on.
It's not routine. Number one.
Exactly.
A few years ago, I got in trouble for taking somebody's garbage from their house. Then laws were made. It's put out there beyond your property line. It's garbage. You can get it. So it's a lot of times you'll see on the show where I take the garbage out with gloves on and I find a lot of clues. People forget they even do that.
Okay, what they're talking about is so true. I've said this on my channel before. I don't know who knows this or who doesn't know this. I'll say it really fast. I used to work for Waste Management. It is a Fortune 500 company. I used to drive trucks for them. They work very close with law enforcement. I literally had to pick up a detective one time. My boss called me, said, go over to this church, pick up this detective. and he'll tell you where to go and what to do. So on the ride from the church to the house that we're going to, he told me, hey, you're going to go down the street about 5 houses. I'll tell you when to stop. You're going to stop. I'm going to get out. I'm going to go on the back of the truck like I'm working. I'm going to service a couple cans. And then when we get to the house, just stop. I'm going to take a little bit longer and don't run the back. When I get on, I'm going to throw it in the back. Don't run the hopper. I'm going to get up front and we're going to leave. Because obviously he didn't want that garbage to get pushed back with the rest. We got to the church. He jumps out. He takes the garbage out. He rips it all open. They were investigating somebody with drugs. Big drug dealer. And they don't need a warrant for that. None of that. They do it dirty. But he's right, though. You don't remember what you throw out. You could be doing your thing. Let's stick to drugs. You could be doing your thing, selling your dope. The police don't. You may think you're not on the police radar. So you got your baggies you put the stuff in, or your receipts you've bought stuff from. What places? There's no telling what you're gonna throw away. You're not thinking that because, man, shit. Oh, that's a whole different story. Because I've been through that too with the trash company. But he's right on this, y'all.
And a dump ground there, I heard that again, the family members on the mom's side kept people away from the dump ground. I know the dad, I think, works at a concrete company, or the stepdad, some kind of a concrete company. You know, that I don't like that. Remember the guy that a lot of the mob would put people in concrete. And again, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying. It's like a puzzle that I put together. And there's a lot of pieces missing.
Is this dude serious? Where does Chris work? Like for Quickcrete or something like that? A rinker? What an idiot. He works at a concrete place that sells concrete. He sells mortar. He sells concrete mud, blocks. What's he think? What an idiot. What this is like complete damage control, complete narrative. And I'm disappointed. Dog, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. This guy is getting told this from whatever tragedy pimps. This is so crazy, man. He just said that to throw people's conspiracies up a notch. That's how they got Hummeron. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Thank you again, Shelby. Chris is a crane operator, no concrete. Okay, so I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. Why did he? Okay, I didn't know that. Chris again with the debunk. I didn't know that. So where's he getting this? Where is he getting this freaking concrete stuff from? Is he just saying that he's a crane operator?
But it's all starting to like a circle.
I could probably figure it out if you guys told me the company Chris worked for. But I'm not even going to say that because,
you know,
unless it's out there already.
When you get all those things together. So it's a puzzle. And if they weren't involved at all, then I extremely apologize. But why aren't they out there? Why aren't they on your show? Have you asked them to come on?
What's up, Canvas and Crime?
I haven't asked asked for the Proudfoots to come on. No.
Will you?
Had Seth on.
He isn't being
ask
It's
the
crazy.
Proudfoots to come on?
I would ask the Proudfoots to come on.
Yeah, will you do that for me? Because you're an FBI, you know. I mean, you're not going to give no true serum and do all that, but you're good. Can they handle your questions? You know, I think that's the way they prove. Okay. Here's another thing. And you're a woman. My wife's a woman. The pictures that I see of Mrs. Proudfoot, she was slender. She was, you know.
So this dude's basically going on all these big media places. Jennifer Coffindaffer has a big platform. Court TV has a huge platform. he's basically going on there and just saying the same things. This is, in my view, what him and Nick the Hat are doing is they're going and they're running this narrative of the Proudfoots. They're running them into the dirt, and they want tips, and whatever tips they get, they're trying to do a pressure campaign with the police on an arrest or something like that, which just blows my mind crazy. Something probably Nick thought of. He wants Jennifer Coffindaffer to interview the Proudfoots. He didn't say, could she interview Seth? It's crazy. You know what? I want to have the Proudfoots on. I wouldn't mind having the Proudfoots on. I don't know. I know Cluminati knows them, but man, I wouldn't mind having them on. I wouldn't mind having them on, but they probably don't even know nothing about my channel or nothing like that. I can't get a hold of them. Anybody know how to get a hold of them? If you do, reach out to them. I would like to have them on. She's gaslighting him 100%, guys. Simply a tower. Okay, I got you. Is she really FBI? She's ex-FBI. What's up, Mr. Nice Guy? How are you this evening? He is a crane operator for a company who builds big buildings. When Sebastian went missing, he was working on it. So, okay, great. So that could mean a lot of things. If it's big buildings, he's probably doing precast walls, which means these walls are already, the cement is already poured. They use the cranes to tilt the walls up and put them together like a puzzle. They don't mix the concrete there. All that's pre-done. It's pre-done. So he's a heavy machine operator. He makes good money, which is interesting because they think that his parents have all the money. Law enforcement told him not to go on shows. And of course, Kit, of course. Yes, Seth was told the same thing. Yeah, I know. Look, it's no secret. Somebody said in the chat, Kit, I believe it was, said that Seth hasn't worked in a long time. He's on disability. So that's why those GoFundMe's come into play and this and that. It's not really hard to figure out. I'm not even mad at him about if he does a GoFundMe, he does a GoFundMe. People do what they want to do with their money. On YouTube, people say, why did this person donate to this person, this person? Look, people can do whatever they want to do with their money, okay? It's pretty obvious the man hasn't been at work a long time. If he's living off the GoFundMes, it is what it is. Do people get mad because they've donated to that GoFundMe and there's nothing happening, or maybe he's paying his bills? I don't know. I haven't donated to it. I don't know. But I'm just saying, people are always going to do what they want to do with their money. I'm not even mad if that's what Seth did. It is what it is. I'm not even mad at him. It's just, I wish there was more transparency with shit. Let's finish this up.
Now, all of a sudden, 60, 70 pounds since the boy's been missing. And I asked my Francie, what causes women to eat and gain weight like that?
Wow.
And Francie said it's guilt, shame, that you're sorry about something.
Anxiety.
I know.
Come on, dog. This is kind of desperate right here. This is desperate.
A woman loses a child, she don't, eat a bunch of hamburgers or try to, put on weight because she's heartbroken. So what is that about? All those signs. And those people don't know that I look for those kind of signs. 40 some years I've done this. Little bitty signs where you drive by something, and you back up. Oh my God, there he is. So
Chris Proudfoot also, dog. Chris Proudfoot is almost unrecognizable. And I say that not to be disparaging, but it's just facts. If I saw him on the streets when this first started, and then I saw him all this time later, I don't know if I could tell that was even the same person. So very interesting. I think a lot of people in the audience and other people have noticed that, dog. What is with all the weight gain? We can't say unequivocally, but again, you're saying based on your...
These people are talking about weight gain of Chris and Katie. So my response to this, because they're not saying anything about Seth, is very simple. There's a picture of Bullhorn Betty standing next to Seth. It's very recent, guys. They're emphasizing on weight gain. There is a picture of Bullhorn Betty, and she looks like she's next to a blimp. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not just trying to be funny. Maybe all the parents gained weight. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck we're even talking about this for. This is like the worst gaslighting in the world. I'm going to play this, guys. I want to go down and scroll this comment section as it's being played. So you're not going to see them talking. I'm just very curious to watch the comments. And yes, I'm absolutely going to be hitting thumb downs on the comments. I might even get in the comment section. I don't know if I can while it plays, but let's have a look. Yeah, that's out of control with the weight gain. Seth looks like he ate the whole town. It's very large and in charge. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Chris looks like. I remember when Bullhorn Betty went to court. Chris, there was Chris there. He like went to the front thing. He's like sitting like this on the edge, and people couldn't note. People could not recognize him. I will say that. The only other time I could see a picture of him is that infamous picture where him and Katie are sitting on an interview of some sort. But other than those two times, I've never seen him. So I don't really know what he looked like or if he gained weight. I've seen Katie a few times, but I haven't seen her recently. I don't even know why we're talking about this. Let's keep playing this.
Experience when these things happen, when somebody loses a mother. This is what I always compare to. Look at the Petito and the Schmitz.
Yeah.
Look at their response, how they happen. Now, again, they're not everybody. Everybody does react differently. But look at the juxtaposition between the Proudfoots and them. I'm just saying it's pretty stark, is all I'm saying. Dog, I've got another question for you.
Yes.
So, as you may know, there was a young man named Connor Jack Oswald. Now, he went missing 16, 17 years old, and 2.5 years later, he was found. He was homeless. He was alive. He was, again, on the spectrum. And then just recently, about a week ago, I posted about another young man who disappeared from his job. He literally walked away from his job, left behind his cell phone, left behind everything, autistic, 16 years old. He was just found in a remote area, in a desert type area, or I should say remote. I'm not going to say exactly, let's say arid type area.
Okay.
My question for you, and we don't know what happened to him. I think they only have found a skull, so it's going to be quite difficult. It was 6.5 miles from his job. Dog, what do you think the possibility is that in this suburban neighborhood, I know you've been there, you've seen the area.
Yes.
What's the possibility that he did just walk away and never been seen on camera and nobody's seen hide nor hair of him for all these months?
I think the possibility is about 1%. Why wouldn't they let the dogs take the scent right from there on? Why did they run the dog? The dogs, as you know, they can smell so many 1,000 times better than a human, especially when the kid's barefooted or a sock on, not a tennis shoe. Why? The guy's got military training. Well, I'm checking to see how he got out of the military, what that is all about right now, too. How did they stop the dogs from tracking him? Why did they not want to do that? You know, all of these things. I mean, again, I hope to God they didn't do this. They weren't instrumental in him leaving. But, autistic like that, he wasn't really bad, but, 14, 15 years old. I don't know. I'd have to, we'd have to ask the real father if he thought that he could make it without any kind of supervision or anybody being around or, stuff like that. I don't know about that, but it's, man, there's a lot of questions that are up in the air about this. In the very beginning, it was like, the real father did it, and all those videos of him in the jail were some kind of transferred over. You can't do that to a jail. You know that. Now Nick and I completely changed our mind after working on it 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's really troubling because I know early on, I always want to take the position of, first of all possibilities are possible. We have to look at each of the different, situations and what everybody said. But I've become very, very troubled when you add up all the clues. I'm still not dismissing that it's a possibility. You gave it 1%
Yes.
that he did walk away. But this is my issue with that, Doc. I really believe in this situation that somebody would still be complicit in keeping him hidden or doing something horrible to him, because the fact that he, not hide nor hair of him, has been seen. In the case I just told you about last week where they found him, he was
Right.
actually seen wandering. You could see him in the streets.
Right.
We don't have any of that. So you're telling me
Nothing.
not one ring camera, this is a suburban area, not any place around, not one camera has seen him? I have trouble with that.
We found some ring camera stuff coming next. Stay
Good.
tuned. Oh yeah. So we found some ring camera stuff. Okay. Certain times when they were supposed to be there, they're not. Certain places they're supposed to be.
Okay, so he didn't find any ring camera stuff. He found some ring camera stuff on Chris and Katie Proudfoot that he's going to try to expose. I mean, look, for what it's worth, if it has anything to do with any foul play with Sebastian, put it out. But do we really think that's going to happen? Come on, man. This is crazy. So my comment that I wrote was this. I liked some comments and I disliked some comments, but I put, why didn't you guys question anything about Seth Rogers? This interview was extremely one-sided. Why bash the parents of a missing child with no evidence? Jennifer, I expect more from you as former law enforcement to push back and correct some of the things being said about this misinformation. I'm not going to get blocked or anything like that, but it's very one-sided, guys. Come on, man. This is crazy.
Alibis, like you said, everybody will lie for everybody, but the camera does not lie. Photos, they used to say,
what's up,
say 1,000 words, and now they can change them. But the cameras, if they change them, the footage.
Good comment, Remy.
And whatever they're called now, the little cards, they can find out if that's changed. And there are some ring cameras and some other camera stuff that we're just now getting into. So before we get it and drop it, then somebody better, because there's no way a plea bargain could be made or something happen,
So he keeps putting on pressure. He's either trying to play mental games for the information that was given to him from Nick the Hat or that tragedy pimp crew. He's trying to come off like he's got all this evidence on either Chris and Katie. And it's true. When there's two people involved in a crime, whoever comes forward first to save themselves will save themselves. So he's playing like that angle of this. He thinks like he's trying to put on these interviews, this One Court TV, like him and his team have all this information on Chris and Katie. He's trying to play these mental games to make Chris and Katie break. Why would they break? What if there's nothing to break about? He's trying to get one of them to call this number of his. He's also trying to get people to call in with these tips, okay? And then he can go, hey, TBI, I'm Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I got all these tips. And then what's that going to do? Well, we've seen in Summer Wells' case, the TBI say, hey, look, please stop calling our office with any ridiculous conspiracy theories from Facebook and YouTube. Literally verbatim. It's hurting the case. It's put a huge impact in the case moving forward. We're asking the public to only send in credible information. If you don't believe that they have said that, I have a whole video in my shorts with the TBI spokesman for Summer Wells saying this. Fraudulent tips and fraudulent clogging up the tip line in any missing child case is the worst thing that you can do. We've seen Voices Behind My Balls do it so many times in the Summer Wells case. We've seen Josh do it. We've seen Smiley do it. We've seen Benny Keys do it. We've seen Tiffany do it. We've seen so many people do it in the Summer Wells case. And these people will tell you that they know every detail and they know every aspect and every timeline and they know everything about the case, but they just don't know that the spokesman has requested like multiple times to stop doing this. No, like Queefy said in this live, chaos sells. And that's exactly what we're going through, people.
Know that after the little boy is found or we find out what happened. Right then it's over. They're going to the penitentiary, whether it's federal, which now is worse than the states, or the state. And whether it's a woman or a man, you go to the prison, federal or state, for harming a baby with autism, a little boy, you got a problem. Who is it right now? Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever his name is
who harmed a little boy, though? Angel says, why is anyone bashing any of the parents? It's not criminal investigation. It's a missing child. That is so important. It is so important. A criminal investigation is so different than a missing child case. It is so different. And people get that confused in this genre, in this sector of the internet. People get that confused so often. And it's so crazy. You have to understand a criminal investigation means just that. A missing child case, somebody's missing, they're missing. There is no criminal investigation until there's enough evidence to do one. They're so separate, and people combine those two things all the time in this sector and little part of the internet, and it blows my mind. Because you cannot do that. Someone else says he questions why a camera wasn't in Sebastian's room. Can you imagine the outrage? Who violates anyone's privacy like that? That you have to have balls. Sebastian was a teenage boy. Who puts a camera in the room of a teen? That would be a not a good situation. 1-800-TBI fine. Thank you, Kit. He needs that $50,000 bad for his back taxes. I've been hearing about that. Why would people call in tips to the party of a parent who hasn't been cleared? Good comment. Dwayne is a bunch of hot air. He hasn't changed. Cash out, White Boy Radio. Thank you for that. Don't believe everything being said, in my opinion. They're going by what they were told. Paula, that's what we've been talking about the whole live. I know you came in late, but your opinion is dead on as far as I'm concerned. It's me. It's, what is this? These hard-ass things to read. It's me, Amberly. I went to school with Leland, wife, and know about dog, and he is not the best. Lisa has fell out so many times with him. He has 12 kids and talks about Chris married 5 times. At least he isn't obsessed. Hey. Well, can't argue with that one. I'm curious why the police haven't made a similar statement regarding the chaos like they did in Summer's case. That's a very good comment. That's a very good comment. Because I know they're getting tips left and right. Still with Katie 8 years after divorce. Hey, I hope the Proudfoots stay off YouTube. So this whole, they're not doing interviews and stuff, that's debunked. They have done it. The Proudfoots should stay off YouTube. They don't have to succumb to people's requests, or they're actually following police requests by not searching. And what the fuck is YouTube going to do to help the Proudfoots? Absolutely nothing. So maybe I should take my words back. Maybe I don't want to interview them, because that would just draw them over here to get attacked. So yeah, I would just like them to know that I have stuck up for them. That's it. I think I've asked Cluminati kind of, sort of, in a way, through the internet. I don't know if she's done it or not. She told us to reach out. We have reached out, but nothing on the back end. Anyway, let's get back to this. I have not seen any of this, guys. It's always about Dog. Listen, Dog, it could be, he's good, man. He's getting bad info, guys. a lot of good comments though that I didn't even think about this. He should have done his research before talking about this publicly. He should have. And he's repeating things that are being told. He could be watching everybody. If he was smart, he'd be watching everybody. He could say one point and have his own little investigation going at the same time, but I don't know. He's coming off very brandish, if you will.
Put in a federal prison, isn't he?
Yep.
Under protection and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And remember Whitey Bulger?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw Whitey Bulger in San Diego, and my friend said, if he gets seen, goes in. So
what are your next steps? I love hearing about this camera footage that you're honing in on. Anything else interesting that you guys are looking at?
well, I hate to be like the stepdad, no comment, because that's like the Fifth Amendment back in the day. You're guilty as heck. But there's things I don't want to say because they could wipe it out. They could catch it. They could threaten the one person, two people that are talking to us. Because if I say that, then they'll threaten them, cut them off of all the money they're giving them. There's money in that family, sister. So I just don't want to say the camera stuff, the how do I say this right? As you understand this, and you may want to say it later, the drone was in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how signals bounce off from phones on towers,
Mm-hmm.
whether the phone is off or not.
Mm-hmm.
So technical stuff like that.
All right. What is he talking about, guys? Because I'll tell you this. Somebody tell me what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about, but let me tell you something. He's telling the truth. Well, as far as that point goes. Yeah, he's acting crazy with the, what's he talking about when you look back at the area somewhere, Sebastian went missing from, no street lighting, thick dense wood. I hope that Monday morning, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. So, okay. Well, let me tell you something, right? I don't know what he's talking about either. Okay. So what I will tell you is, you guys know who Nerdy Addict is? So when I was out in the Petito case, I've said this a million times, but I'll say it one more time in reference to this. He was Nerdy Addict was out there. It's on one of those lives on that playlist. I walk up to Nerdy Addict. Nerdy Addict never wanted to be on camera, and he never wanted to be on camera, but you could hear me talking to him, and you can hear me saying, "What's your name?" He's like, Nerdy Addict from Twitter. Nerdy Addict. He also was telling me about the other tragedy pimp, Dolly, because Dolly flies drones. Dolly's a moron. He doesn't realize you can't just fly drones if you don't have certain licenses and certificates or whatever. That's a different story. But Nerdy Addict was flying a drone over the house of the sister's house, right? And he was trying to get this thing that was on the drone to ping off their cell phone, right? Which would upload data. It was all technical, weird ass shit, but he was trying to do it. Did Seth, is Dog the Bounty Hunter just talking shit and trying to scare the Proudfoots? That's what I think now that I read the chat. Or did somebody do that? I don't know. Do the Proudfoots even have anything on their phone for him to be saying this? I don't know. But if Nerdy knows this and told me about it, I was putting comments on the screen before I even explained it. You guys know you can do that. Anybody can do that. So maybe he's just trying to run game. I don't know. We should be supporting these parents until the child is found. All speculation in your own head. Exactly. Hobbit flew on over their house. Hobbit doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's not even smart enough to know how to do that. He's trying to get clicks and views. Weirdo. Stalking Savage's family. The fuck out of here.
Which, then it's not probable cause. Then it's not a technicality. Then when you bring in these experts, it's a fact. It's not, it could have been. So We're working on some factual stuff, but we still need people calling, Jen. We still need anybody with info.
So here's
please
why
call.
it's bullshit. If you had drone, if you had the capability to fly a drone and get data off Chris and Katie's phone, and if you had this excellent evidence coming out via these cameras, then you would not need people to call. You just wouldn't. That's why it's game, people. That's why Nick the Hat is using, in my opinion, Nick the Hat is using Dog the Bounty Hunter as a platform and the mouthpiece to shit all over the Proudfoots. Is he bringing attention? Yeah. But is he acting like a tragedy pimp? In my view. Is that his intention? Is that on Dog's heart? No. I think that Dog honestly made a mistake. Look, people, Dog the Bounty Hunter don't have a YouTube channel. He doesn't know how these YouTube streets goes. They could be fucking vicious. These YouTube streets can be horrible. And you guys know it's true. I think he's getting played, and you hate to see it. I do this channel. I spread awareness for tragedy pimps. I'm so tired of arguing with people who think that Bullhorn Betty is a good person. JLR is a good person. Used to be Molly Golightly before she was canceled. Used to be Doug before he was canceled. People will argue that these people are good people. And they'll argue with you. It's crazy. Finally, they will see it. But I got like that too. I didn't know who Betty was or JLR or Molly was when I met these people. I got hit like that too. But that's why I do this channel. I'm not even like surprised that possibly this happened to Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm not. He doesn't get these YouTube streets. That makes sense.
Me or you or anybody. FBI, anybody.
Let me ask you a couple more questions, Dog.
Sure.
How is your human source development going? I want to add really quick that in the FBI, we were required to have human sources. It varied with different people who was in charge, but typically 3, sometimes up to 5, that we had to have human sources, people giving us information that helped our cases or other cases out. So human sources, I think Dog will agree with me, is about the number one way FBI agents, bounty hunters solve crimes. How's your human source development going, Dog?
Our human source development is outstanding and growing and growing and growing with tips, suggestions. Oh, I saw, maybe this is it. We've had this week like 4 or 5 pictures that, of course, none
That's
have
so
been
true, Shelby. That's so true.
Said to us that here's Nicholas. He's working at a restaurant, and they look a little bit alike him, but one is like 16 taller, so all around the United States and Mexico and the other place. Excuse me, I'm getting all excited. The other places that aren't, like Hawaii's an island, okay? But a lot of people.
It's a nice guy. Yeah, she's fine.
Oh, when you go back to the United States, I'm like, bruh, Hawaii is the United States. But there's states like, what do they call them? We're looking everywhere. In the United States, we've got everybody. Well, it is incredible what.
So he did call him Nicholas. He is saying everything that BHB does. Thank you so much, Shauna. And that's my point exactly. He's getting this information, people, from idiots, in my point, in my view here. I'm going to drop the link. You got some channels in here. Anybody who wants to jump up, say anything, take the link. You're free to do it. If you want to call in, I got a number.
I put it in the chat already.
This one?
The one that's charging, the one I always drop.
Okay. Oh, you did put it in? Is it on? Is it charging on?
It's charging, it's on, the ringer's on.
Okay, bam. So if you guys want to call in, you can. I'll get the Bluetooth speaker. We'll let you chat. I'm going to skim through the rest of this. Here's the link. All I ask is if you do hit the link, you got to show your face or something. We're not dealing with the weirdo shit. You don't have to have your camera on, but if you want the link, you have to like wave at me or whatever, and then turn your camera off. Or you can call in. But it's very strange, man, to but he's nothing about Seth. Nothing. You just can't do that, man. You can't do that. The only time you could possibly do that, right? In Madeline Soto's case, that's a really bad example. Let me not say that. That poor girl, her whole life. Wow. I don't even want to talk about that. Sickening. Sickening.
Oh my God.
Let me say this. In Gabby Petito's case, I wouldn't call you a tragedy pimp, right? It is if you're watching everything on the media or on YouTube and you start talking shit about Brian Laundrie. I wouldn't call you a tragedy pimp. I wouldn't even call you a tragedy pimp if you were even to say if the feds were searching for him and they're debating about arresting his parents. I wouldn't even get mad if you were talking about the dude's parents, maybe or maybe are not involved. I wouldn't get mad. But on something that we simply don't know, right? That's a whole different type of case, a different situation. I said Madeline Soto because I was going to say I was going to say I wouldn't get mad if he said something about Stephen Stearns, but then that would open up the mother, and that's a horrible example. So that's why I initially said that. But we're going to stick with the Gabby Petito case, and you could probably put a million cases in here if you know them and stuff. But with something that we don't know, because in Gabby Petito's case, we know the feds are looking for Brian Laundrie. They want to arrest him and find him because of something, right? Here, it's not like that. And they're like laser focused on Chris and Katie, bad, Seth, good. That's crazy to me. And her as an investigator, it blows my mind, guys. So look, if you want to call, did I drop the link? Let me drop it again. You guys can hop on screen if you want. Hop on screen, hop on the phone, whatever y'all want to do. We're going to skim through the last part of this. It's just crazy to watch this. And I hate to see Dog go down this lane.
Sources we got. Because like you say, when you call the FBI or the Sheriff's Department, please leave your name and numbers and say, here's the proof. Here's who did it. Here's where he's at. Here's what's going on. You guys take it from here. You got to have respect for Big Brother or they're going to cut you out. Now, the feds that I work with now and some of the local brothers, the sheriffs, the cops, they know that I've already made Dog the Bounty Hunter. And, when I was young, they said, yeah,
Look, I don't want to sound like a hater. I like Dog. I don't like what's happening in this case with him. I think he's getting played. I hate to see it. I just called out the message. I try to tell him. I didn't clown. I usually call people and clown. I didn't do that. And I'm actually going to make a video about that part of this live and put it out separate. Watch. But I will say this. When he came to Brian Laundrie's sister's house, there was sheriff's office deputies outside, about 4 cars, and there was local police. This wasn't in Northport. It was in, I don't know, it was like 30 minutes away from Northport. I forget where she lived. The sister of Brian Laundrie. There was city police there, and there were sheriff's office cars there. They were there as we were out there protesting, and then he pulled up. Not one law enforcement officer gave him a dap, said, hey, dog, how you doing? Nothing. They just looked at him, make sure he didn't do nothing stupid. Then he hopped in his SUV, and then he took off. But nobody greeted him. I'm not saying he doesn't have connections and stuff like that with other law enforcement agencies, but I'm just kind of pushbacking on what he's saying right now.
Flash in the pan. I said, you know what? I'm going to take this flash to the grave. I've already made a name for myself. I am Dog the Bounty Hunter, 10,000 arrests in 40-some years. No one can ever break that record. Now I'm working on a legacy. And my son Leela, God bless his soul, he's trying to catch daddy, but never will. So now I don't really need the, I love it. I love this. I cannot quit. I love the recognition. I love this. But I don't need it like I did 20 years ago to prove that Dog the Bounty Hunter is really real.
So what you're saying right now, Dog, is you're just clarifying your motivation is you want to do something really good to help find this child. It's not about money. It's not
it's so
prestige
disgusting.
anymore.
It's
It's not
so gross.
about getting another find. It's
no, it's good. And
that's your point.
As you said, Jen, I am very religious, or I walk in the feet of Jesus, right? I try to be.
We're going to pause him walking in the feet of Jesus one more time at that point. Shelby says BHB thinks Steven Stearns is hot. The dude looks like a weirdo. She also, SF Investigates pointed out, has a clip of her justifying what Seth Rogers did that has been recently came out. And all I'm going to say about that, right, is this. I know a lot of people are talking about that on YouTube. SF has unfolded about some things that happened when there was a girl that was 15 years old and a girl that was 13, I believe. And he was 22 or something like that. That doesn't have anything to do with the case. But what I will say is this. To watch BHB call Don Wells a pedo and all these other things for some things that he said that has nothing to do with the case of Summer Wells. Then to watch her double down, push back, and try to justify and explain other things. What Don did and admitted to, which I had no idea why he would do this, was him as a minor and somebody else as a minor. So that's like little kid business. Was it taken and put out of context and people ran with it, exaggerated? Of course. But you're talking about a minor and a minor. Was it right? Fuck no. Was he supposed to tell the internet that? Fuck no. But it's two kids. You have Seth Rogers as an adult and some other questionable things being said. Again, I'm not attacking Seth. But BHB, to try to exaggerate what happened with Don, but come on over here with Seth, justify it, make it look presentable, try to make some American history out of it. Look, both things are not okay. Both examples are not okay. Either one should be justified or made to look like there's not a victim. Both of them do not have any place in either case. But you cannot call A a pedo and defend B. She's a walking contradiction is my point, people. A walking contradiction. The fact that she would do that is so weird. And that's exactly what Dog the Bounty Hunter sounds like. He sounds exactly like Shauna said, exactly like what he sounds like a BHB on these interviews. And he's saying, I think he said it on the Court TV interview, he's got all these views. And even our guest, Shar, said that she respects Dog. I always have too. He has brought a lot of eyeballs to Sebastian Rogers. This is good. But he's only attacking one set of parents. And at the end of the day, people, we don't have any evidence against that man. It's crazy. I respect him for the eyeballs being brought on the case. I really want Dog to wake up. So I'm going to put a video about that phone call I made. And the only other ways we can wake him up is, guys, you got to go to his social media and you guys got to leave comments and say, hey, man, I think you're getting bad information. I can't tell you what to say, But you should hop over to his social media. If you have Facebook, do it there. If you have Instagram, do it there. Twitter, do it there. He's not on YouTube like that. But that's my suggestion, I guess.
I repent constantly, okay, all the time. And I know that when I do these kind of things, and I'm helping the one that Jesus said you should be put in an ocean with the weight, is there any way that if I, flip somebody the bird off when I'm on my chopper right now, and I'm in a new club that's Christians, but they're ex-outlaws, soldiers of the cross, if somebody comes in front of me, you know how hard it is for me not to flip them off. So what if I do all of a sudden and die? The last thing, and Jesus says, well, the last thing you did was flip the bird. And I'm like, oh my God, what about Sebastian? Come on in, but you get to sit in the back. I do a lot of that for Jesus and me getting to heaven and blessings and stuff, especially as I get older. When I was young, I thought, yeah, okay, Jesus Christ. And I was raised Assembly of God, really tough. And now as I thought I wasn't going to die, Jim, until I was 65. I didn't think I'd ever die. And now I'm starting to realize, one of these days, old doggy going to meet Jesus naked, stand in front of God, and hope to God he says, well done, my son. Come on in.
So I want to synopsize really quickly, and I'm glad you've had that awakening, and I'm glad you are working toward developing. You're keeping your lines open. The tips are coming in. You're following up on each and every lead. You are not shutting off Big Brother whenever you get something that's important. You forward that to local law enforcement and/or the FBI.
Yes.
And you have some human sources, some people that are talking to you about different things that you do not want to get in trouble, if you will. You want to keep that open, so you're keeping mouth. That's why, what I always call myself, like, whether it's talking about tennis or whether it's talking about anything else, I'm a vault. Like, once you tell me, I'm not repeating it, because how in the world am I going to keep all my great sources if I ever tip the hat? So you're keeping those in the hat, and you're hopeful that that might lead to something.
Yes, and the sources build and build and build. And when you tell a source, I will not say nothing.
That's crazy. If he's actually gotten tips about anything credible and not giving them the TBI, he's got to be crazy. He's got to be crazy, and you should absolutely do that first time possible. Because what if you got told something and you sat there like a volt, didn't say anything, then later on it kicked in, shit, I need to tell TBI this. And then the person who told you this is like, nah, I didn't see nothing, I don't know nothing. Because they trust you. Because I know from Summer Wells, private investigator, people don't trust law enforcement. That's crazy. But that's how much substance is behind that. How much people are looking at Dog like, oh, I know this about Sebastian, and I know the kid's missing, but I'm going to tell Dog because I'm such a fan. Come on, get real. I don't believe that, people. I think he's playing 5D chess with the Proudfoots, or at least trying to. But Chris is not stupid. He's not stupid. Exactly. Oh, he said it came from Nick the Hat. Fuck all that. Oh, I don't believe nothing that guy says.
And then you go on TV or podcast, whatever, and say it. The source is like, oh, he's a rat. I'm not telling him nothing. So you cannot do that. And, let me tell you this too. The FBI, CIA, all them got.
Uh-oh.
What happened here?
Dog, we lost.
Can I get your cell number? I give it to him.
All right, look, the whole snitching thing, man, that's back in the day. You know how dumb I am for not snitching? I feel like an idiot for not snitching back in the day. I was growing up not to be a snitch. Then I come to YouTube and I watch Benny Keys admit that he's a snitch and do all this. And all these snitches on YouTube, 6ix9ine, everybody's snitching, and it's just accepted. It's okay. So what the fuck is staying real mean? Shit, I might as well snitch, save myself some years. But people ain't even thinking like that nowadays.
You don't have to.
They-
You're stand up. You're solid.
I know, and I'm joking, but people have like normalized snitching so much, and it's not snitching. If you listen, anybody thinking that you're snitching for helping a missing child, you have your priorities all fucked up. You have to be a moron. That's not snitching. Snitching is you knowing somebody, and they've done a crime, and you know them, you deal with them, and you tell on them. That becomes snitching. But a child being harmed, that's called your civic duty. You're supposed to do that. This is crazy.
That isn't snitching. That's called being a good person. You're supposed to help people that need help.
You're supposed to.
You never allow someone to become a victim or worse. Like, it's, ugh.
Yes, Shelby, 100%. You're on to something. Look, we have a file on Nick the Hat, and I promise to give it to you guys very soon. 100%. I wish, man, please, snitching is a little boy's missing, and if any adult hurt them, had something to do with hurting them, you tell the police.
And they deserve the worst possible punishment.
Exactly, Shelby. Exactly. It's what's happening. It's what's going to happen in the Diddy case. 100%. Oh, quick update before this live. Kevin Hart, babe?
I'm sorry?
Kevin Hart?
Yes, sir.
So I guess details are emerging, guys. Kevin Hart is allegedly about to get a divorce because there's some videos of, guys, I told you a couple lives ago, you're going to be very disappointed in your Hollywood and your music celebrities. Kevin Hart is now evidence is emerging of video footage of him and Diddy, and his wife wants a divorce. I don't know how much substance there is behind that, what media reported that, but what I can tell you is I believe it. I know him and Diddy were close. You're going to see weird shit with Usher. You're going to see weird shit with Cuba Gooding Jr. People, get ready to get disappointed. Get ready to get disappointed. I believe that with Kevin Hart's wife. I 100% believe that. We'll have to find out. But let's finish this shit up.
They go home, get their cell, call me, and listen, here's the info. Don't tell anybody where you got it. That's what we're getting right now. So
and for those of you who that might seem like, no, that doesn't happen. It happens all the time. I am here to tell you, people want to help, and there are so many people working bureaucracies that are hamstrung, and they want to help, but they feel like they can't. So they find other ways. You can think it's wrong. He would, and then he backed out of it.
But see how many millions of dollars there wouldn't be any lawyers. What would you need one for?
I worked with so many people over 40 years. You've worked with a lot of nefarious people. And the one thing I know about you is I think you truly can weed out, when somebody is feeding a line of bull and when somebody isn't acting in accordance with how they should be acting.
Everybody, we need to find out, where is Sebastian?
Well, I agree, and I wanted to really keep focus on Sebastian in our session here, and I appreciate you really focusing in on Sebastian, talking about.
All right, guys, I'm putting the link in the chat. It'll be in the description box. I got to put Kit. I got to put Shelby. I got to put Truths in there. Like I said I would. I got to follow my word. I will do that. But that's it. Again, man, I don't want to end this in a negative aspect. I've always respected Dog the Bounty Hunter. You want to go? Yeah, we can go real fast. We can go. I've always respected Dog. I look up to Dog the Bounty Hunter. I just think he's getting bad information, guys. I don't want to put a negative aspect on him. And this whole thing, I'm finding myself like pushing back against what he's saying only and because someone's in his head, someone's giving him YouTube tragedy pimp rhetoric, and I have to push back on what he's saying about Chris and Katie because he's saying nothing about Seth. Again, man, I don't think Seth did nothing to Sebastian Rogers. If you watch this and you do, I'm not arguing with you. It's your opinion and you're open to that. It's fine. Same as if you think Chris and Katie did it. I don't want to be an enemy of yours. If that's your opinion, that's fine. I'm not going to delete your comment. None of that. It's just your opinion. You're completely open to that. I don't think there's nothing showing either parents to do it. I don't think that Dog is a bad person because of this. I think what he's doing is, like people commented, he should have did his research before getting involved. And I think people are telling him wrong information. I think he's a net positive of him bringing eyeballs to the case. But on the flip side of things, I think his brand and his appearance is going to look tarnished after this. I think he's going to be made to look like a fool by not doing his research, by getting played by people, unless he's fooling us all. And he is looking at everybody and he's saying this shit on these interviews when he's really looking at Seth. And maybe he's really looking that way. And he's going to do a U-turn on everybody and then say it on another interview. Hey, I was just saying this at the beginning because I was really looking at this fat bastard. I don't know. Maybe that's his plan, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't know. This is just my opinion. And this is just my speculation. This is as far as speculation as I go into these cases. I respect Dog. I hate to see this happen to him, but I don't like Nick the Hat. That guy's a scumbag. And I think he's responsible behind this. Him, that guy's team, Dog, Nick the Hat, the lawyer, fuck you and fuck your cease and desist. I wipe my ass with it. Just going to put that out there. But other than that, man, I called you. I'll let you know how I feel. I don't care about any of that shit. I really don't. Because if you gave me a cease and desist, I could beat that so many ways. What I would do is I would just go full woke. I would identify as a 12-year-old girl. I put the wig on and I do a parody because that's not me. Now I'm a 12-year-old girl. And in the world of 2024, you can just change your gender whatever you want. I bet you won't push back on that. I bet you won't argue that. So I can just change my gender whenever I want. Then I would be, so the cease and desist that you gave me is for me. Now I would just appear as a 12-year-old girl. I put the wig on and make parodies. Yeah, you can't. And technically, if I could change my gender, I could change my race and my age. I bet you can't.
You change your age.
I bet you won't argue that. So technically, I could just start doing the parodies as a 12-year-old girl. Hey, I didn't make the rules up. It's just what we live in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree with it. 100%. You took the CCs here for the perspective. He does, Susan. No way. Now we understand why Will Smith punched Cuba Gooding.
What's his face? Chris Rock.
He did.
He slapped him. Or did he punch that one too?
Oh, Shelby, yeah, this is interesting. A lot of people are about to go down, man. Kevin Hart, I can believe it. He always made all these weird Diddy stuff. There's gonna be a lot of weird shit coming out, people. You're gonna get, if you're 51, then you lived through the era of me and wifey. You lived through the best era of sports and music of all genres. You lived through Kurt Cobain's, you lived through Biggie and Tupac, you lived through all Michael Jordan, you lived through Dan Marino, you lived through Joe Montana, you lived through Tom Brady, you lived through an era of like niche and like just top notch sports and music, and I would put movies in there as well. You're gonna see a lot of people from movies to sports to music who you through the years love and respected and really liked get exposed for weirdo shit with this case. That is a promise. That's a promise. It's gonna suck. I have stopped putting all my faith into these celebrities and stuff long time ago. And a lot of that has to do with YouTube. How many times you put in all your faith into a YouTuber and then to find out they're complete shitbags? That's exactly what's happening with the Diddy case. But this is something that, like I was trying to explain before, Dog the Bounty Hunter, he's not on YouTube like that. He doesn't get what we are in every day. We are in this space on YouTube. If you're in the chat or you're watching this, you understand what I'm saying. He isn't. It is a prime example of why he's getting bad information, man. You know what I'm saying? All he would have to do is click on a couple videos of Bullhorn Betty, a couple videos of JLR. He would find the connections with Nick the Hat. He could open his own eyes up. But hey, man, like somebody said, he should have done his own research, y'all. It is what it is. TM, I have the pictures of her shoving the carrots in her ass on my Tragedy Pimp group on Twitter. If I'm dead serious, people, I'm going to end up putting the Ernie Shell porn on there. Elon has free speech. Shar was talking about at the beginning of this live. TM has carrots. I'm tuning in from Puerto Rico. Holy shit. First time I've ever seen that. Shout out. Puerto Rico. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What's up, Miss Melendez? Holly Weird. Yep.
I can't believe how.
Yo, that parody was hilarious. Only suggestion would to take out Sebastian's name. Otherwise, it was great. Oh, what's up, Queen? I appreciate it. I heard that you played it, but I couldn't find it. I may have watched the wrong live. Somebody shared it on my community wall. They said that you played it. I appreciate it because the views went up. The views went up on it. I was wondering why, but I appreciate you playing it. Did AB get a ban? His channel gone? Are you serious?
No way.
This is for. I like your podcast. Hey, Puerto Rico, I appreciate it. Very much so. I have somebody who tunes in from Scotland, from South Africa, from Puerto Rico. This is so cool.
From all over.
That's the coolest shit in the world to know that white boy is way over here. I gotta look right now on the AB thing. Damn, if it didn't come from Shell, hold on a second. AB, not cool. This is for real? Okay, I see A Balance's channel. 26.8 subscribers. Home community. I know what's going on.
What happened?
He doesn't have any videos up.
Oh, did he hide it?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, it looks like he got struck.
Oh.
And in my guess, man, he got struck and hit all his content, so he doesn't get another strike. Because this is just my guess. I don't know. I'm pretty cool with AB. I could probably email him, but I think I'm nailing this right on the head. When you get a strike on YouTube, people have a lot of misinformation, right? If you get 3 strikes, you're off YouTube. But they all have to be within 90 days. So if I get a strike tonight, right, I'd have to catch another strike within 90 days, right? That would give me 2. And then from the second strike, like if I got a strike tonight, let's just say 2 months and 3 weeks later from tonight, I get a strike. That's strike number 2. Then I have 3 months from that strike to get one more, and I'm gone off the internet. It doesn't work if you just get 3 strikes. Some people think like you get it. So when you get a strike, after 90 days, it comes off your channel. So if if you get a strike, you can't upload for what is it, a week or something. But after the strike, it comes off your channel completely after 90 days. So you can get a second strike on day 91, and that doesn't count as 2. You're back at 1. So my guess is he's probably at 2, and he's like, "Fuck this! I'm not giving anybody the chance." Because people who are after him or whatever, they can now slide one in, even if it's falsely done, and try to get rid of him, right? So that's my guess. I don't know. I have no idea, though. That's just a speculation. That's just speculation. I could reach out to him, but at the same time, if he hit it, there's something going on there. And if I reach out to him, I don't even want to bring any more heat to him. Or if I do reach out for him, guys, it's going to be my personal thing. Because what am I going to do? Announce that he has 2 strikes? I kind of already did. So he's hiding it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? My guess. Yeah. I got a strike by the political stuff before. They're very hard on that. It was about I got a strike on QAnon. Yeah, I sure did. But we just need Scotland and Ireland now. MGL is back. Let's go harder. Yeah, I'm on it, guys. 100%. But shout out to AB. Shout out to Queen Bee. Shout out to all the creators in here. Shout out to Shaw. Shout out to Savage. Shout out to Shelby. Shout out to Kit. Gotta subscribe to Wifey, guys. We got Troll Exposed. Shout out to Troll Investigates. That's one more thing I want to do.
Not Troll.
Truth Exposed. I'm sorry. My bad. Look, here's the deal. Troll Investigates. Wow, that's crazy, kid. Okay, so Troll Investigates has got a little thing here. The demand removal. Oh shit, I'm not even showing it. Really fast, guys, before I get off here. You guys can do what you want with this. Can you see this? Okay, you can see it now. Okay, it says demand removal of Andrew Griffin, aka Bullhorn Betty, from YouTube. So I was given this petition, which I've signed. And I will share it because I did promise I would share it. 40 signatures. So I don't know if this is really going to do anything. I don't know. I want to say in the past somebody has done. Listen, I just don't know. I don't want to, but I did promise somebody I would post it, and here that goes. So that's in the chat. Wow, that's a long ass link. That is the change.org link. I just dropped it, guys. If I remember, I put this in the 3 months, or what is it, 2 months or 3 months? Remember, for 2 months. I appreciate you, Shelby. Thank you. Since you knew what's going to happen. Oh, I already read that. I didn't know that was a member thing as well, though. Seth did a lot after he went missing. But I appreciate all the comments on tonight's live. I hope it came off the right way. Again, man, I want people to understand I like and respect Dog the Bounty Hunter. I think he's getting played and trolled. And just like people were telling me when I was out there in the Brian Laundrie case that Molly is not a good person, the internet was trying to tell me, I'm just doing that to Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I'm always doing that to people so that they don't go down a lane of support to these tragedy pimps. So that's all I'm doing. In the beginning of the live, we had Char on. She's giving everybody an update, real advocacy. I just want you guys to understand that Corian said she signed it. No problem, guys. No problem. But again, I don't think either parent had anything to do. As I'm reviewing this live, it may look like I'm more on a negative aspect on Seth. That's not the case, guys. It's not the case at all. I don't think either parent had anything to do here at all. So, all right, man, I'm gonna jump out of here. Take wifey to the store. Much love and respect, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight, and I'm gonna jump off here. It's been over 3 hours. That's a long one for White Boy, and I had a bad night last night. But I appreciate you guys hanging out, y'all. Much love, much respect. Until the next one, peace.